Hi, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, joining me on this historic evening before seeing hopefully the world's largest rocket ever fly for the second time. Mary Liz Chalinsky, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you feeling?
Surprisingly great.
I
honestly.
feel fantastic.
We've had quite the marathon, as these are always a marathon, like leading up to these launches. It's just like there's so much commotion and setting up and rumor mills and just things happening that make it hard to do, I guess. But I'm feeling really good. Other than like I'm recovering from a cold, but other than that, I'm feeling great.
Yeah,
like mentally, emotionally.
Well, that is number one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty important. I'm glad that all of you guys are here joining us. We have a lot of stuff to show you guys because we have almost our entire, most of our show up and running. Some of our cameras are still offline. Like our tracking cameras, our tracking assets won't be online until tomorrow. For those of you that are curious what we're even talking about, we are, 15 hours away from the 20-minute launch window.
Just under 15 hours.
20-minute launch window starting at 7 a.m. Central, which is 13 UTC. So if you're in the rest of the world, 13 UTC, 7 a.m. Central. So nice and early on the West Coast, 5 a.m. That is the launch time. Today, we're just hanging out, showing you. We're kind of doing it. We do like a wet dress rehearsal for us. Yeah. Because we are still always tweaking and setting stuff up. But it's also just an opportunity to hang out with you guys, answer some questions, and just see what goes right and goes wrong, and see some awesome stuff.
Yeah, and get pumped. Get pumped for launch. This is the time that we've all been waiting for so long.
Yeah.
So
7 months. Almost on the 7 months ago. Today was the first launch attempt. It was April 17th, right? And then April 20th was the first launch of Starship. And again, for those of you that don't know what Starship is, the world's largest, most powerful, most capable rocket ever developed, like sincerely developed, not just like a paper rocket. And it's its second launch attempt. Let's show some.
I'm sorry. You're leaving out a major point here.
Reusable.
I have to It's so funny. Yes, it's fully reusable. It's historically the biggest and most powerful rocket in human history. You're going to go on about some kind of like technical detail.
I was just going to say, like, at this point, I'm kind of almost hesitant to call it reusable because so far it's like these first missions are not. Yeah. So not until it's like reused is it a reusable rocket. You know what I mean? Like technically.
Anyway,
I mean, semantics.
It's beside the point.
The goal of the vehicle to be the world's largest, most powerful rocket that's also fully reusable and rapidly do so is the whole goal, and it is amazing. However,
that is not the point I was going to make.
Okay. Well, tell me, what is the point you're going to make?
This is the rocket that will take you, Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, to a trajectory around the moon.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, we got a long ways to go before that happens. I've seen people be like, I can't believe you were cheering when that thing blew up. And it's like, I was okay with that because it was literally a prototype vehicle. That's
push it till it breaks. Learn how it breaks.
Minimal viable product. Yeah. Literally iterate, learn from it, get the next one on the pad. And instead of like worrying so much about making it absolutely perfect from the get-go, what if your assumptions and what you were thinking is wrong, and you spent all this time and research, like honing in this one path, and you roll out your rocket after, what if SLS had done that? What if SLS? Right. Now, SLS is a lot more traditional rocket, a lot more traditional means of launching. It's not doing so many things that are just totally out there.
Not totally reinventing the wheel the way that this is.
Just kind of doing the status quo, more or less. Impressive,
Yeah, very.
But imagine if it had gone out to the launch pad having all these assumptions and it didn't work after so much research and development and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. It would have been bad.
And
this is a little different. This is, and people inherently don't always understand that that's okay in this world. Because they know that failure is an option as long as you learn from it. Yep. So, yeah, it's crazy. Should we show off? We should probably do like a tour of some of our cameras that are up because we do actually have quite a few of our views. I think what you're seeing now, I believe it to be, is that just the wide? That's from our not our internal name. Is it Viking?
Okay, it's changed again.
It's changed again.
Yeah, because we were trying to give what we call Mr. T, the trailer.
Mr. Trailer.
We were trying to give it a cool like Mars name. So we were trying to call it Viking 3, but you couldn't remember it, and even the people who named it, like Ryan, couldn't remember it.
Because I always get Viking and Voyager and Sojourner.
Sojourner.
However you say that. I can't even say that one, so that one's off the table. Like,
So someone, I'm not sure, maybe if it was Ben Steinman, but someone came up with the genius idea, especially so we don't have to relabel all of the label maker stickers all over everything. MRT, Mobile Reconnaissance Trailer.
I mean, that's pretty good.
MRT?
MRT. The only thing is, I like it being a Mars lander. Mars rover.
Okay, well, Viking 3 is up on the...
Quick little like what we're talking about here. Here is a little video of Mr. T or MRT being deployed to Starship, I guess. Deployed to Starship. So this is what we're talking about here. It's basically we refurbished a security trailer, put a 4K high-speed robotic camera on top of it, links, and then it's our infrastructure there for all of our beautiful remote cameras. And you'll notice how thick and juicy like that door is. I mean, it is awesome. It is, and this way, hopefully, it's a little bit. I don't want to call it explosion proof. That'd be dumb.
That would not be wise.
That would not be wise. I don't even want to call it concrete, blast proof or anything. But
we don't know.
We don't know, and we think at least in like nominal situations, it'll fare out better than just having nothing. Just having things like we had it last time, just kind of scurried across the ground.
Absolutely.
And like on tripods and stuff. So
yes.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. That's housing a few cameras. So we can show off a few more cameras, as a matter of fact. So that's Mr. T wide. There's Mr. T tight. And I really hope this view doesn't get obscured by smoke, because can you imagine like seeing the rocket just 4K, 120 frames a second with our beautiful cinema cameras? I mean, by the way, is everyone watching this in 4K, by the way? Raise your hand in chat if you're watching this in 4K. Now, if you're on mobile, it won't really matter because most of us don't have a 4K. It's like way beyond the pixel density of a phone. But you can still choose advanced settings even on a phone. But on your TVs, on your laptops, your web browsers, make sure check if you have the bandwidth capable. We are streaming this in 4K, and it is actually coming like 4K from every camera. Oh, no, that one's out of focus. Is that Robocam? I think Robocam we can refocus.
Robocam. Yeah.
I think we can refocus Robocam. We might need an expert in here. Keating will be here soon to hopefully pull focus on Robocam. But yeah, we'll show you guys that in a second. We have it's going to be incredible, and this isn't even our tracking assets that are up either. These are just a handful of views that we have down at the pad and around the area. So really, really excited about having this kind of quality, because now we're kind of, besides, SpaceX no longer streaming to YouTube. Mm-hmm. They used to stream to 4K, and now we're the only ones doing a full native 4K stream.
Yeah.
NSF does they do a 4K, supporter feed that takes their 1080 feeds and makes like a 4K, totally makes sense that way. Mm-hmm. But it's really hard to transmit 4K point to point, like end to end from camera to your eyeballs at home is actually really, really, really hard. And I'm really excited about how awesome it is.
I'm always in constant amazement. I mean, I've seen it being built over so many months and even years. Every time we have a new idea, let's try it in 4K. It's a whole kind of rebuild.
Yes.
And I'm just amazed at what a small team of really passionate humans can do when they're excited about something. Like what we've built here, this like network all around this area is so cool.
It's pretty astonishing.
And we finally get to show it off.
I know. We finally actually have it working and awesome and amazing. I'm just so excited. So let's talk about some of the upgrades to Starship and answer some questions about Starship, because friendly reminder, of course, if you guys have a good question, our team will try to, if they see a question, they'll try to throw it into our queue here. Obviously, there's almost 10,000 people watching right now, so we're going to miss a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. But for this one, from our good friend Musical Wolves, so glad to see you here. Will SpaceX test the FTS, of the flight termination system, of the booster after it splashes down as a test? So for those that don't remember, the first launch of Starship, it went up. It started to lose control. There's fires in the avionics bay and the TVCs that steer the rocket. I mean, so much Oh yeah, there is a little audio buzz. I do hear that as well. We will have our audio engineer actually pulling in right now as we speak.
Yes, he was literally out at the launch pad just now resetting some cameras, and so he is rushed back. He'll be here any moment.
He'll be here any minute, but we wanted to get the stream going. Sorry for the little light buzz, but so FTS, basically they tried to terminate the automatic flight termination system. Actually, did trigger the termination system, commanded it to blow up. It did set off the detonation charges. As I remember, Scott Manley literally saw that and goes, "Oh, they tried to detonate it and it didn't blow up." I was like, "There's no way." I thought there's no way a rocket could have literal bombs strapped onto it, a pressurized rocket with propellant inside, and have it not just immediately blow up. That was the case for Flight 1. It literally did terminate the flight termination. Like, it triggered the flight termination system. And holy crap, lo and behold, it did not blow up.
Yeah.
And it should have.
Right. Oh, Buzz is gone.
Buzz gone.
Nice work.
Cool.
Whoever, whatever.
Whoever, whatever. Thank you, Spencer.
And SpaceX, I think that was one of the major upgrades that they made, clearly, for this flight, was to really up the amount of ammo. I'm not really sure the technical term for what they did to increase the amount of explosives that
I think
would ensure that doesn't happen again.
Put more bombs on it.
Put more bombs on it. All right.
Put
Perfect.
more bombs on it.
Thanks, SpaceX.
So to answer the long-winded question here from Musical Wolves, to answer, will they test it once it splashes down? Say that the whole flight profile goes great. They do the boost back burn with the booster. The booster re-enters and then splashes down softly as they're attempting to do. Then would they just trigger it anyway just to see if it works?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Great question.
The problem is too, it is when it splashes down, it is still a pressure vessel. It's still actually buoyant, so it would just be sitting on the top of the water, and they would have to sink it somehow.
Wow.
Flight termination wouldn't be a bad way to do that.
Wow.
So
I wonder how many photographers are going to be over there trying to capture that.
I don't think it'd still be in the exclusion zone.
Yeah.
Like it'll still be like where the NOTMAR or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Notice to mariners, and it'll still
Super
be
long.
closed. They would still keep it closed for that.
Super
But I wonder,
long
like
ones.
up high, like say from the Sapphire, would you be able to see? I'm curious if it'll still be over the horizon when it comes down.
Yeah.
It probably will, but yeah. So just a little heads up too, like why we're streaming. Obviously, we're here to celebrate, have fun, show you guys, have you guys help us out with a wet dress rehearsal, give us feedback. That's we iterate here just like SpaceX continues to iterate. But one of the big reasons that we wanted to be here as well is, what was it, actually? Oh, yeah, for sunset. I had to think. I had a reason for saying this.
Wait, I don't know.
I wanted to watch sunset. I wanted to see what sunset looked like. Because actually, 10 minutes before sunset will be similar lighting conditions to 10 minutes after sunrise, which is when the launch window opens tomorrow. Will be 10 minutes after sunset. So right at basically 5:30 or so, our time. So you can see that on the screen there. It says for whatever time it is. Our time is when it's 5:30 or so. That'll be similar lighting conditions, assuming similar weather conditions. To tomorrow's launch.
Could be foggy. I'm hearing.
Could be foggy. I hope not too foggy. That would be the saddest day of my life. That would be
SN11 all over again.
Yeah, but
we made it.
We have cameras up close and stuff. So I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll find out. Let's see here. So, also, I am reading this. This is actually news to me. I did not know this. 4K is premium only now? 4K only works for people who have YouTube Premium.
Oh, man.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Well,
that's
so they're making money
sad.
off of our investment?
Oh.
Like, seriously, are we making more money because we're doing it in 4K? I'm about to have we did this for you guys. Like, that was the whole point, is like, we want to have the best coverage. We want to have the best cameras. And if YouTube is now going to try to take money for that, and
I wonder if that's for live streaming only or for videos as well. So maybe after the fact.
Is it incorrect? Hold on. We're hearing.
Right.
I might have gone on a rant.
Science.
I may have gone on a small rant.
We have to.
4K is free.
Oh my gosh.
Rant over. No necessary to need to rant.
All right, forget everything that just happened. Don't worry about it.
Welcome to 4K, no matter if you have YouTube Premium or not. That makes me happy. Jeez. Okay. Glad to know Welcome to 4K land, regardless of your YouTube status. Let's see here. Let's do a few more questions here. This is a good question from Forge Gamer. Forge, good to hear from you again. Ask us good questions. And Forge Gamer, this is just a random question. No super chats necessary. We appreciate the support, but we're here to talk to you guys, hang out, and have fun.
Yep.
So from Forge Gamer, how many cameras do you think have deployed for this launch? Do you think we have deployed?
Great question.
I have something to show off for that, actually.
Oh,
but it doesn't show everything
this.
online. It doesn't show everything online yet because we don't have everything online.
That's okay.
But we do have... Okay, so I've been saying that we have a lot of really cool things in store here, and like we've been doing a lot of things on the back end. What if I told you that we have our very own mission control here at Everyday Astronaut, like a legitimate custom suite software from Gwyn Partners, who literally built us our own mission control for all of our different cameras, all of our different assets. Roll that beautiful footage. Roll that beautiful footage.
Roll it.
Maybe it is now. Here it is. This is Everyday Astronaut Mission Control. And right now we're only seeing a handful of cameras that are actually online. But we can literally see all of their statuses. So how much record time, their voltage, their temperature, all of the important statuses. And as all of our cameras go online, we trigger them online and we're not going to show you all that stuff. But then it shows you the status on all the cameras. And it's like our very own legitimate mission control.
It is so
is
cool.
Amazing.
I mean, it has, I'm sure you can see, there's a record all button. This is my favorite feature, the ability to, at T-minus whatever, 15 minutes, whenever we deem it worthy, boom, hit record all, and every single one of the cameras connected to the network go into record mode. This is like game changing.
Yep. It's absolutely insane, honestly. Oh, yeah. Sorry. People are asking, like, by the way, 4K is on YouTube, 2160p is 4K.
Yeah.
Because that's the horizontal frame. So 1080 is 1080. And then they switched to 4K. They went to the horizontal frames instead of the vertical pixels or whatever. Horizontal, whatever. 2160. So this is, do we actually have that URL up, by the way, the everydayastronaut.com/mission control? So people can learn more about.
Let me check it real quick because we had our web crew working on that, and I just want to test it real fast.
I'm not sure. I did just blast it out there to the world, but let's go back to the rocket. We might as well keep the rocket up and watch the sunset together as it's starting to get darker and prettier and fun. And also, we do have people asking the questions of when is this thing launching. If you would avert your attention to the top left portion of your screen, you may now see that there is a countdown clock showing the opening of the 20-minute launch window for Saturday, November 18th launch attempt. So, yeah, very much love that. We will also have a few more cameras that we'll be able to show you guys. We're gonna save the most beautiful one, in my opinion, till sunset. So
which one is that?
It's one that goes up in the air and flies around, carrying a cinema camera.
Oh, it flies.
Carrying an actual cinema camera.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh,
this makes total sense.
Yes. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. From Lenny James saying, "What's the bet we see a kaboom during staging? Also,
oh my gosh.
launch too hype." Well, let's pull up. We'll talk about staging here. We'll actually show what staging will approximately look like, the hot staging event. So this is something new for Starship. Not new in the world of space flight, but it's because it's been used in the United States. We use it on Titan II. Russia / the Soviet Union used it for Proton and still uses it on Soyuz and basically the R7 rocket. And I mean, it is a thing you can do. But here's what's going to happen. So instead of turning off the booster engines and then letting go of the rocket and then having ullage thrusters like accelerate the upper stage of the rocket and then turning on those engines, they're going to do this. They're going to light the engines while it's still attached to the booster, while the booster is still running. So this is approximately what it's going to look like. We don't know exactly how many engines are going to ignite at beginning. It's likely for sure the 3 vacuum engines because there's enough room there to for them to be able to have the exhaust exit and not run into the top dome there. But it's going to look something like this-ish if it goes well.
Yeah.
They might light, we don't know how many for sure. They might light the sea level Raptors. I think they might need to light the sea level Raptors, honestly, just to have enough thrust to weight ratio to pull clean because it has to outrun the booster, which is still running. So the booster's still running. That keeps all the propellant settled. It also means the booster is never turned off and coasting. And then when you're doing a return to launch site landing, think about it. For every second those engines are off and you're coasting away from your launch pad, that's distance that you're going to have to make up for once you do your boost back burn. So you're traveling at thousands of kilometers an hour away from the launch pad. So every second is like just distance that you have to make up for coming back. So the faster they can flip that around, and if they can they're basically doing it all in one event now. So light the engines. I'm guessing, remember how back in the day they were basically just going to flip, I just spit everywhere, flip the rocket and have the inertia of that flip be what detaches. I think it might be something like that.
Wow.
They'll start the flip, light the engines, and those two things, the centripetal force and the engine's lighting, will peel them away, and hopefully it's fast enough to get away from the button and scooting around, and whatever happens, whether it goes right or goes wrong, it will be spectacular.
Yes, excitement guaranteed is the theme, right?
Yeah, and here's the deal. You know, this particular rocket, I really do think they have it. I think it's a little more thought out than the first one.
Yeah. Well, and this was one of the other big updates from the last launch, just to be very clear.
Yeah.
Hot staging ring implemented, and this is the first time we'll see something like this.
Exactly.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance that it could.
I actually have to say, it wasn't necessarily my first. This won't be my first time technically seeing hot staging.
Oh. Hey, what are you talking about?
In person. I did see a Soyuz launch.
Of course.
Now, I saw
Yusaku
Maezawa, the Dear Moon founder and creator of Dear Moon and the person taking me to the moon. I did get to see him fly on a Soyuz rocket to the International Space Station. However, pretty occluded, like cloudy. So I didn't physically see with my own eyeballs the hot staging.
Oh, man.
And I don't even know if you'd really see it very well from it happens fairly high and fairly late. So with naked eye, you can't really see it.
How do you think this will be for us here with the naked eye?
Naked eye, probably not great, in my opinion. However, not naked eye, through our telescopes and our tracking assets, I think we'll have an incredible view.
Incredible.
I think we will be able to see it really well. And for that, I'm unbelievably excited.
Yeah, and I'm just reminding myself at what exact moment that's going to happen in the timeline. At T+2 minutes and 41 seconds.
Well, we also have something about that. We actually have a cool animation of the flight trajectory that we did in-house, by the way. Spencer, who's right now running the show, Spencer Tiedick.
Thank you. Good job, Spencer.
Great job. Is it Tiedick or how do you say it? Oh, Tedick. I've never actually heard him say his last name. I've worked with him for like a year and a half now. I'm just now hearing this for the very first time. And then Casper Stanley did the hot staging animation just for this event. Like, how cool is that? I mean, we now have it in our library for future use.
Forever.
But roll that beautiful orbital trajectory footage. This is what you can expect to see. Something approximately like this. Hold on, I think we might. So the blue line is the boost back burn. And that's the real time in like 4 minutes. The upper stage will continue to burn for 8.5 minutes or so. So it will go all the way out to like Florida basically before it turns. I don't know exactly where it cuts off at, but it's a long ways down range. Then it'll just coast, and it's just in the vacuum of space, but on a slightly, its perigee, its lowest point is not above the atmosphere, so it will re-enter the atmosphere. That's the difference between it being orbital and suborbital. Is that video that I made, talks about a lot. It's going to go over Africa, over Indonesia, and it'll start to re-enter over the Pacific Ocean. And it'll just, the atmosphere will slow it down more and more and more, bleeding off all that energy. And eventually it'll get to the point where it'll basically stop and fall. Just similar to, the space shuttle and capsules do a similar thing. They kind of come screeching in, and all of a sudden they get to a critical point where it's like they're going more vertically down than they are horizontally. Because, initially at re-entry, they're screaming in. But yeah, so it's, lifts off. 2.5 minutes, it does the flip and the stage separation, the hot staging, and the flip, the boost back burn, and then the booster will fall right back down into the Gulf. I don't remember exactly how far downrange it'll be.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, pretty excited for this one, guys. I mean, this is if you are at all a fan of rockets, to me, this is as absolutely nutty and as exciting as it gets. If it gets all the way to Hawaii, if the upper stage makes it to Hawaii, and
Oh my God.
and we have footage of it, hot plasma coming in, even if it's blowing up, even if it's like in pieces, and you see a comet-looking thing flying through the atmosphere, that is incredible.
Yes.
That is huge. And if the booster survives hot staging and burns up on reentry or something, still amazing. If it gets to hot staging, I would say that would be a huge, huge win. Mm-hmm. So huge, a lot at stake here as far as, trying to prove out a lot of things. But as far as, the future of the company, I think they're excited to at least just do better than last time.
Yeah.
That would be progress for them. That would be a win. Let's see here. So on that note, Musical Wolves asking, what thoughts on how Super Heavy will handle ship ignition? I think HSR would be Super Heavy. HSR. The heat shield, maybe. The hot staging ring. There we go. HSR. Hot staging ring. How it will handle staging. I don't know. That's a great question. Obviously, they've run simulations. Obviously, they've run the numbers. Obviously, they have some sense of what they expect to happen. But what they expect to happen and what actually will happen are always, not always aligned, which is why it's great to test, great to have that flight data. One thing that I didn't realize, did you know they plan to ditch the hot staging ring?
I figured that, but I was not sure.
The only thing I can imagine why they would do that.
You mean just for this time, right?
And for an unknown number of launches.
Oh.
It goes against the rapidly reusable idea.
Yes, it does, yeah.
But however, it uses the same thing that was going to originally this booster, when it was designed, held on to Starship, and it had, the 3 clamps.
Yep.
Holds on to Starship. They're using those same clamps to hold on to the hot staging ring. And they have separate clamps that hold the hot staging ring onto the Starship. Mm-hmm. So all of this said, they plan to jettison it. And I wonder how much of that is because they want to study the aerodynamic effect, like how much it might affect aerodynamics, I guess. I can't really figure out why they're ditching the hot stage ring.
That's really interesting, yeah. You'd think they would want to just
keep it
attached to...
Not have a disposable...
To study the aerodynamics of that.
If that's the long-term goal, is obviously if it's to land it and just restack it and refuel it, they don't want to have to put a new hot staging ring on every time. That's against the whole thing. I have not figured out why they're ditching the hot stage ring.
Very interesting.
So just a fun thing. That's just a fun little thing. Yeah. So let's keep talking here. So let's see. This is just real quick. Thank you so much to Tulit to quit 3D Gamer or 3D whatever it says. It just became a member. Thank you so much. This is a great question from Laridis asking, am I more excited? Oh, I guess are we more excited about the upcoming launch than we were for 420 for the first Starship launch?
Oh
more excited or less excited?
I'm that's actually a difficult question because excited is such an interesting word, I think I feel more I definitely feel more grounded in my excitement for this one, for sure, because during the last launch, of course, as you know, we were all rushing off to my wedding at Kennedy Space Center, going the opposite direction, and then taking the red eye just hours after saying vows.
Yes.
And getting back here just in time to place the remote cameras, set up the live stream.
Hours. Within hours cutoff.
It was so exciting and a beautiful adventure that I'm excited to tell people forever. But I was stressed out.
Yeah.
So I'm not anymore. I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see this, and I can't believe it's been 7 months and the anticipation is high, and I'm ready. What do you feel?
I think I would say I'm a little bit more excited this time, honestly.
Yeah,
Similar thing, because we're way more prepared, so there's less on my mind.
Yeah, totally.
There's less that I'm stressing out about right now.
I'm good.
The only thing I got to worry about is where we're all eating tonight.
Ooh, that's not bad.
You know what I mean? That's a good stress to have. And other than that, just making sure, hoping that everything works out and hoping that we have a clear day tomorrow and that we actually see a launch. Those are my stresses, which are normal launch stresses.
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
I can deal with that.
Therefore, my mental capacity to absorb this is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it because of that. And I think it'll do better. I have higher expectations this time.
Same.
I expect to see it, make it through first stage burn. Whether or not hot staging works, whether or not that whole thing is a disaster, I don't care. At that point, totally good job. We proved booster, successful boost. At that point, it's at least as capable as a normal rocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of gotten itself onto the expendable launch train, launch train, where worst case scenario, absolute worst case, like scrap it, guys. We can't do any of this reusability with this massive thing. We're going to fly it like every five times a year or something as a fully expendable rocket, and we're still going to put up the world's biggest space stations in one shot for still way cheaper because it's, just a cheap hunk of metal. I wouldn't be upset because at least like we know that's feasible. You know what I mean?
Well, now we got to push it further.
No, they will.
This
They
is so
will, but at
exciting.
least to me that is like it can do that.
Yeah.
Which is a huge question mark with this many engines. Are the Raptors reliable enough for that? Is this whole system overly complicated? Like getting through that would at least be like, yep, it can do what a rocket needs to do.
Yeah.
So
And I'll say the reason I have so much incredible confidence in this round is because we witnessed every single Starship flight up until now. And if you recall, SN11 was a total disaster.
yeah.
But remember what happened just after that?
Yeah.
SN15 nailed it. Nailed the landing.
Yeah.
So, I have so much respect for the engineers that are behind this whole program.
That's what we forget. Like, it's easy for us armchair observers to be all, one way or the other about whatever we think about this whole thing. Mm-hmm. But it's important to keep in mind there are 7,000 plus SpaceX employees literally working on this problem.
So dedicated and
like, obviously, they're extremely smart.
Yeah.
Like, duh.
Yes.
Like, as smart as some of us might think we are, they're really, really smart.
We might not be as smart as they are.
We might not be as smart as they are. So it's always fun to keep that in mind. And their expectations, they really do. I know people might be critical that SpaceX was cheering after the first one blew up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, can you believe they considered that a success? It's like,
yes. I do. I get it.
I get it. We've done that with our live stream.
Totally.
Let's get it going. Let's do everything we can. See how it goes. And
it's a reminder that failure is a step to progress. Failure is a step to ultimate success.
100%.
That's where you learn the really good stuff.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. So this is what happens. Okay, so this is from Alfew asking, what happens to Starship when it reaches orbit? So remember, it's not quite in orbit. It's in space. It's on for a good portion of that flight, for all intents and purposes, for 80 minutes, 70 minutes, it'll be the exact same thing as what an orbital mission is. It's coasting around the Earth. It's experiencing 0G. The propellant's floating around like blobs inside the vehicle. And it's more or less doing the same thing that an orbital rocket does and an orbital spacecraft. However, it's not quite, the orbit is not quite round. It didn't quite make it all the way around the Earth on purpose, so that it intentionally reorbits. And I think that there's a few reasons for that. Number one, they're just simply trying to safely test reentry, safely test the whole system as much as possible. They're not trying at this point, to get the whole thing up in orbit. Because the problem is, the other big reason is, let's say they get into orbit and they have a problem and something happens. Now that vehicle, that object, that dead vehicle is in orbit and will at some point re-enter uncontrolled.
Yeah.
Because it's in a low enough orbit that after weeks or months, it'll slowly have a tiny minuscule amounts of atmospheric drag, will slowly lower its orbit until it eventually succumbs to, being completely suborbital and re-enter uncontrolled. And therefore, uncontrolled means it could potentially have debris or the whole object falling on anything below 26 degrees north or above 26 degrees south latitude. Not an ideal situation,
Yeah.
Statistically, the odds of it landing on any populated areas are still actually very low if it was in orbit and if it was uncontrolled. But why complicate that for now? Don't risk that yet. Just simply do the minimum viable product, test reentry at darn 99% of the way there, get all of the data you need for that, and then once you feel confident that you have control, because worst case scenario, say they let go of the Starships. Does engine cut off? And let's say there's a fire in the aft bay because, one of the engines burned through its oxygen pre-burner manifold or something. And there's a fire in the engine bay and all of a sudden the vehicle blew up. Mm-hmm. Guess what? No big deal. It's not in orbit. Those pieces of debris, some could theoretically get kicked up into an orbit, potentially a very low orbit.
Yeah.
But the bulk majority of that vehicle is already traveling at 7 kilometers per second or whatever, just shy of orbit. So all of those pieces are more or less going to continue on that trajectory and will re-enter in a bunch of pieces over Hawaii. And so that's like the way safer bet.
Yeah.
That's the way safer way to do this whole thing is to at least just test everything you can in the safest way possible.
This might be a question already. I don't know. But how long do you think it'll take? How long do you predict it will take to get to the stage where they can go fully orbital?
I think if this one goes well and they demonstrate reentries controlled and they can demonstrate, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, this is not anywhere just hitting microphones.
Getting passionate.
This is not anywhere in literature. I've never heard this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did some kind of test to make sure that they still have control, that thrusters can thrust, that the engines, if they had to spin them up or something, maybe they do a spin start of one, but don't fire it or whatever, something to demonstrate they still have control. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I haven't heard this, which maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I would actually love if they tested the the cryogenic propellant transfer. Now the NASA contract, there's a NASA contract to transfer X amount of fuel, cryogenic fuel, between two tanks in orbit. But this would totally count. Like the conditions are the exact same. If they spent, let's say they could easily transfer from the header tank to the main tank and vice versa between two tanks. This is an opportunity to demonstrate that. So assuming they feel comfortable with all of their timelines and all of the things, their milestones, then I think next time they just go for it, would be my guess.
Cool.
Go for orbit.
That's
and
exciting.
not still go. We'll see what they can add to that. So the next flight might mean, hey, we can also add a boost back. We're going to actually bring the booster back here. Maybe the next one we can try to, have the Starship dual propulsive landing in the ocean, whatever. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Can't wait to see those chopsticks. Catch the little buddy.
Catch the buddy chopsticks.
Yep.
Please, please, please. Ooh, we actually have Robocam physically running. It's still a touch out of focus. I think we have focus servos on there, though. Keating, is that you controlling Robocam? Oh, baby.
Oh, my gosh.
What was that? Oh, it's a little near focused, it looks like, from what I'm seeing. Now, I could be wrong. That looks better-ish. What happens when you zoom in? Zoom all the way in on it. By the way, is that camera still like in... Oh, it is kind of a slow frame rate again. Oh, I don't think the back focus is set properly. Well, we'll get this one figured out for launch. We might not take this to air then. We might just record with it. Other way. There you go. A little more, if you have it. There you go.
Nice. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that is actually great.
That is so awesome.
I know. 4K, 120 frames a second. So even if right now it looks choppy, which I don't know why it looks choppy. The recording's going to be what's going to be amazing of this, like getting that, tracking it as it leaves the launch pad from that location will be incredible.
That's so awesome. And I'm so excited that we're controlling it here at the studio and it's at the launch pad.
It's 8 kilometers away, 5 miles. Amazing.
This is new for us. It's exciting.
All right. So, people are asking what your name is. Mary Liz Chilinsky.
That's right.
Mary Liz, one word. Right. Chilinsky.
Yeah, that's my name.
Wife of Ryan Chilinsky. The two of them, Cosmic Perspective.
True.
If you've seen footage, our incredible footage from launches, that is an ongoing collaboration between Cosmic Perspective and Everyday Astronaut. Yeah. So, that's something that I'm very excited about. I hope you guys are still as excited about it.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
It's been amazing.
What else would we be doing with our lives? This is what we want to do.
I know.
It's so fun. But now I'm officially working with you.
Yes. You are officially an employee, basically.
Everyday Astronaut. Yeah, working on a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh my gosh. One of them we might be able to talk about tomorrow.
We will. I promise. Okay, I have worked so hard to get to that point.
For 6 months.
We are going to talk about it.
Awesome. I love that. Ryan also did a thing that you told me about that I didn't even know about.
Oh yeah. Yes.
How can I share? Can I share that somehow?
I can share the link. 1 second.
Yeah. This just got thrown on me and I had no idea. And I was like, when did he do this?
I don't even know it. He presented it to me the other day and I was like, how? And I didn't even know he was a designer. He made a really beautiful Starship IFT2 commemorative cinema poster. It's cosmicperspective.com/IFT2 poster. And I'll post it for our mods to post in there.
costumeperspective.com/IFT2 poster. Hopefully I typed it out. I'm very bad at spelling, so I did type this out. I did it.
Yay.
I did the thing. Okay, this is incredible. And didn't you say there's this is by the way, this is not one of those like staged like what's that called, like a TV show thing where they like home selling network, shopping network. Like, this is not that. I don't know. You literally just threw this to me like an hour ago, and I was like, when did this happen? Please explain this. What? Because there's another element to this.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, years ago, Ryan discovered this beautiful AR app that we use on almost all of our posters and greeting cards and stuff. And it's so cool because, what we, Cosmic Perspective, and obviously you are so thrilled about is the cinematography, right? But Ryan got his start as a photographer. So this is a beautiful photo, but it also, through augmented reality, triggers the AR experience that will show the moment of liftoff from IFT2.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean?
With VR?
Yeah. No, AR.
AR.
So with your phone, you would point it at the image, and that is like the trigger image for the experience.
Okay.
And then boom, you'll get the audio and the cinematic video experience. Have you never seen our AR stuff?
No.
Oh my gosh, we have so much. I don't know. We always work really hard, and we always forget to like tell
Show
people
it off.
what we're doing. It's ridiculous. We're trying to do a better job.
Okay, well, there you go. CosmicPerspective.com/IFT2 poster.
There you go.
I love that. That's incredible. We need
Yeah.
to hang that up here.
It looks really awesome.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. I love you guys, and that makes me proud that you guys are also continuing to always do such amazing things. All right, this is I want to just answer this. I mean, this is an opinion from Hunter. Says, to be honest, recording in 4K is awesome. Don't waste money broadcasting it. It doesn't make a difference for 99% of viewers. I would actually disagree. I watch a lot of content live in 4K on my TV, like all the time.
If you got it.
If you got it, flaunt it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I mean, at this point, if you don't own a 4K TV, it's the cost barrier of entry of a 4K television or monitor is like hundreds of dollars, like 200, maybe 300.
And once you do, I mean, once you make that transition, it's like seeing the world through new eyes.
Exactly. And
it's
basically
so
every TV
exciting.
has like a built-in YouTube app.
Yeah.
So it's like all free to be able to watch beautiful, like it's a big, especially if you have it like up as mission control, like even fonts and text and stuff just looks so much better. And it's just, and higher bit rate. I mean, it's just all way better. So I personally am in the mode of like, I'd rather do everything I can to produce the best show that we can. And in my opinion, the best show we can is this incredible 4K footage.
We'll always find a way to push the bounds.
Of course. SpaceX style.
Let's see what else we can do.
Yep. Awesome. Let's see. This is from Nils asking, is SpaceX going to live stream on YouTube because X isn't 4K? We don't think they are, which is exactly why we're excited to offer legitimate 4K because they have the back end for it, and we're not even, we're not going to see it, but we will bring in, once we don't have any footage of the rocket, we will be bringing in some of their feeds as well, but they won't be in 4K on our end. So we'll just be upscaling if necessary, but we will be providing 4K tracking footage all the way through with hopefully three trackers.
Yeah, we have 3 human trackers. And then we've got this guy that we can control remotely.
They're human, but actually robotic. Like they are the same beautiful, smooth tracking footage that you guys saw that are like insane heads, the most incredibly smooth motion.
Yep.
With some monster lenses and telescopes on them. So I think, and we have awesome vantage points.
Awesome vantage points.
Yeah. Yep. So let's keep going here. How concerned are you about potentially losing cameras being hit to debris? Less concerned this time for sure.
That the berm situation is much improved. The water deluge is much improved.
Much improved. I'm confident about the deluge system.
Yeah.
I think at least its failure mode, let's say it does fail and it would cave or something. Oh no, now you're just leaking more water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like its failure mode is more steam and more water. And potentially, you could have a few chunks of steel buckle, but the foundation below it is so, it's like 20 times what it was before. And so I see almost no chance that the exhaust would make it underneath the into the sand. And that's what happened last time. It's basically the cement cracked, the concrete cracked, and exhaust started getting in there. and then it's just sand. It's just blowing sand around, and it basically turned into a sand volcano and that erupted and threw all of the remaining concrete everywhere. And that's what the big, like, it felt like the launch pad exploded, when in all reality, like, the launch, they had just kind of excavated it in an instant. Instead of taking months to dig it all out, they kind of just did it all at once.
Yeah.
With a rocket that they needed to get rid of anyway. So it's kind of a win-win for them. Like, oh no, the hole we had to dig is already dug, and that rocket we wanted to get rid of is gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of their mantra.
That's true.
We all look at it and go, this
is bad.
awful.
This is really bad.
And then they're just like, sweet, that saved us a bunch of time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think the new booster bidet, you know, the big old spray, the
Booster bidet.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's not a me original. I don't remember who I heard Ford coin it, but
whoever it is.
Yeah, I've definitely heard Zach from CSI Starbase say that before.
Nice
so
work,
maybe
Zach.
it's from him. I'll give him credit just in case.
Just
don't want to
for-
be
just
stealing
for
somebody's
fun.
fun joke. I'm not here trying to steal jokes. But yeah, I think realistically, I just think that between the new berms, between the sound suppression, and the water, I think there won't be as much debris. It'll be more water vapor and steam, and then as it clears, gets higher up, we're far enough out that I think most of the exhaust plume will fall straight back down. Some of it will be, there still will be, of course, dust kicked up and stuff, but I think it's going to be far enough away from our cameras. We don't have, there's no cameras on the pad this time like there were last time, because those were a total loss.
Yeah, I think everybody gave up on that idea.
Well, SpaceX gave up on that.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even allow it.
Nice
it's
work.
Like, yeah, I mean, and I don't want to be like the armchair engineer of that one. But I just literally, I'm sitting there going, there's a direct line of sight.
I don't know if this is a good idea, you guys.
I literally told Brad, I go, you know that everything that's here will be gone, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I know, but we got to try.
Oh,
So he was doing, I had to be the conservative one there.
Yeah.
He goes, I know, but we got to try.
That does not surprise me.
That does not surprise me. And we did lose it all.
Yes,
I mean, there was
a lot.
20,000?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Of really beautiful, wonderful equipment. And we're really, really grateful because a lot of people pitched in to help us replace that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of our new glass from Sigma on the trackers, for example.
Yeah.
Like that, thank you. That was
Yeah, Sigma came through.
huge.
We've used Sigma for like years and years and years. I've used it. I've used Sigma lenses as a professional wedding photographer.
Oh, no way.
Since I started buying when they came out with their art series and sports lenses. I came out with that was probably 2016. I was sold. I'm like, yep, every one of these. From then on,
incredible.
I replaced everything. So
Wow, I didn't know that.
but yeah, I've been a big fan of Sigma lenses forever.
Well, there you go. It's natural.
So here, and we've been using them on almost every camera. So totally good fit. Thank you, Sigma.
Very,
for helping
very
us out
generous,
to
though.
Replace some of that glass. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about whether this is the official launch live stream or not. So
No.
let's just explain.
There's a pinned comment, so hopefully while you're typing a comment, you may have scrolled right past a pinned comment. There's also a title to this video, which says pre-launch party. Pre-launch.
Pre-launch.
Meaning not the launch live stream. Our live stream will go on in about 5 hours from now, though. We're starting it early because we actually there's another upgrade. We have night cameras, like cameras that have really good low light sensitivity. So we actually will be able to stream beautiful 4K footage throughout the night, so you can see if there's traffic coming in and out, see if there's cranes going up and down, get a sense of things. We will not be hosting, but we will leave it up for you guys so
We're
that you
going to
guys
sleep a little bit.
Sleep is important. I'm realizing the worst things happen to us when we're all sleep deprived.
This is true for everyone.
So as far as us being good hosts,
Yeah.
as far as us emotionally being ready to watch a rocket launch, as far as being mentally capable for a rocket launch, sleep is good.
I like sleep.
Sleep is very good. So
But yeah, very cool that we can finally offer that. Some really good views at night. And then at 5 a.m.?
yeah, 5
We
a.m.
will
or
return?
maybe even a little earlier.
Okay.
We will return to start hosting. I would like to try to catch when the farm starts spooling up, so we have a sense of
Yeah.
because that will be before SpaceX's stream, and I believe that to be around 4:30 or so a.m.
Okay, so around 4:30 Central. That's
Central.
local time.
Yep.
We will begin hosting that
Exactly.
stream.
We have that timeline, I believe, on
We do.
on our website. Let me see here. I don't think it goes into. Yeah, it does not go. But they do have at T-minus 2 hours is go no go for propellant load. But the farm will be spooled up. So basically, all the tanks out there, all the in the North Beach shot, we can kind of get a sense of the tank farm out there. Or Mr. T wide also kind of shows the tank farm, and Yeah, those two things give you a sense of and actually we're looking at the Robocam right now, so we can actually zoom, tilt down and get a sense of this tank farm. It's just crawling. It's the slowest tilt known to humans. This is called turtle tilt.
Turtle tilt.
Hey, and left.
Whoa.
There we go. Oh, how's the latency over there, by the way? Is it pretty latent? Oh, that's Spencer.
Oh,
it was
that's
AI
so
controlled.
funny.
Actually, we just
That
talked
would
to it,
be so funny.
and it does it.
Got to be careful with those cables.
Yeah, seriously. Oh God, about a half-second delay we were being reported on. But yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, this is a fun announcement. It's not official for this stream, but on Discord here, we had a fun reminder that from DJ Straightlight in our Discord channel saying,
What is it?
You are the official broadcast of Planetary Society.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, so grateful.
They actually sponsored a camera. Remember, we were talking about people helping us out. They sponsored a camera, and that's going to be incredible because we need these cameras, and we lost a lot.
We need cameras.
And they came through huge for us, and so they're going to have, I think, the most beautiful shot, which is the wide angle shot of the whole rocket lifting off.
Yes.
Gives you that perspective.
Yes.
Planetary Society, for those of you unfamiliar, planetarysociety.org is an awesome nonprofit that if you care about, especially like things like planetary defense, asteroids, things like that. They do a lot of lobbying, help make sure that there's a lot of public awareness of these things. Planetary Society, you worked for them.
I worked for them.
I've been a member
These
for
are my fam.
10 years. I don't know, however
cool.
long, forever. So it's like the coolest, like the biggest honor for me to be able to have them helping us out.
Yeah, it's super, super cool to finally have like all the friends are coming together. You know?
It feels that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big. Yeah. So shout out. We'll be doing a shout out to them. Hey, this is from my friend Brian from Real Engineering. This stream is making the 6-hour drive to Boca Chica less painful.
Oh, yay.
I love that. He is.
It can be painful.
He's coming out here.
From Austin.
Yeah, from Austin.
Cool.
So, hey, Brian, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm sure many people are familiar. I mean, the guy's got
the guy is amazing.
A few million subscribers.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're not.
Amazing channel. I mean, I've been a fan of his channel for a long time.
Cool.
And now I'm a fan of him as a person.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a
Nice how that
lovely
works.
thing.
It is a lovely thing. So this is a great question from Nzoomed. How well will the heat shield tiles hold on, given that some have fallen off while sitting on the pad? That's definitely a big question. And that's one of those things that's still continually being iterated upon. I'm personally not as worried. Like, if the tiles fall off, this is not the same as the space shuttle. These heat shield tiles definitely help with heat flux and heat load transferring onto the fuselage of the vehicle. Stainless steel, though, has a substantially higher melting point, and especially when it starts to weaken, is a lot higher than aluminum alloy, specifically the aluminum alloy of the space shuttle. So even if a tile were missing, I'm not saying it's a good idea to have missing
Let's not try.
heat shield tiles. I think we might have someone illegally entering the SpaceX property. If you happen to know this individual,
Oh my gosh.
that's
not going to be good
no,
for that
that's
person.
not good. That is actually SpaceX property, and you can be arrested. Actually,
That's not going to be a good day.
yeah.
Just
that's
trying to get
not
up close
good.
and see some good
That's
stuff.
not good. We should maybe. I should actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should be alerting someone about that, because there's a lot of equipment out there. And that is absolutely not good. Why don't you answer a question here?
All right, let me pull it up. Hold on, just a second.
Or I will. Well, you have. Hang on. I'll do it. You do it.
Okay, sorry. I would if I could. Right. Well, I guess one thing I'd like to do is ask everybody a question, because we never do that. They always ask us questions.
Yeah.
How is everyone else feeling about this launch, and where are you all planning to watch from? I'm really curious how many people are going to come down to the Starbase area. I'd love to know in the chats.
What was the question?
Well, first of all, how excited is everybody about this? Like, we've answered this question. How excited? How do you feel? And are you coming down?
Are we talking 10 out of 10 scale?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Thanks.
And then
Thanks for helping me out there.
in person or
Little
at
poll.
home? You know, in person or away. So
You have been doing this for a long
I
time.
do
You're
like
really
that.
good at this.
uh,
I ask open-ended questions.
let's see here. So people, well, we're seeing. I feel good. I'm seeing good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You normally receive a warning, by the way, for being on SpaceX property.
Okay,
So
that's good.
Just a heads up.
All
yeah.
right, all right. Not a full
Normally,
arrest.
depends on where you are and what your intentions are.
Right. He looks like he's just excited.
Yep. Just an excited individual. Nothing wrong with being excited. However,
Woo.
looking around at yeah, not great.
All photographers just literally started sweating.
Yeah, like, oh God.
Please don't knock over my
Seriously.
tripod. Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is a great question from Charles. Pretty sure hot staging will blow off the grid fins. For those of you unfamiliar with grid fins, actually, we'll use for this. I'm terrified to touch Wiggum's custom.
Oh my gosh.
1/100 scale Starship
It's
that's over there.
beautiful. It's
I should
almost as
scoot
tall
it.
as
It
I
needs
am.
to be scooted into screen a little bit. I'm so nervous to touch it. We'll do that for the next stream.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to grab a Falcon 9.
Nice.
Okay. So, full screen me. All right. So, as you guys know, Starship will actually launch with its grid fins deployed. They are not, and I say deployed, not even deployed. They don't retract. So therefore, they can't be undeployed. They're constantly deployed. And the question is, pretty sure hot staging will blow off the grid fins. Too bad they can't be lowered. So the question is, when hot stages, when the engines fire, and don't forget there's exhaust holes, can the grid fins survive that? Basically, my guess, if they can handle, think about how strong the forces are on reentry. When this thing's falling back down here, let me collapse this and do a good representation. When you collapse these things, or when these things are re-entering, think about the forces, the aerodynamic forces on those grid fins are also extreme. Very extreme forces, aero forces. So they can already handle extreme forces in this direction when it's falling, because it's like this. So if we can handle those forces, I'm guessing they've done the math, and it's similar. They can handle similar forces this way, and also those forces are deflected already from the dome of the hot staging ring. So, therefore, it will be decreased loads on the grid fins from that direction. I'm guessing it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing, again, this is something they have thought of.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I mean, you never know. And yes, people are definitely, and everyone always asks this, yes, these are our own Falcon 9 model rockets that we have at everydayastronaut.com.
They are awesome.
/shop, everydayastronaut.com/shop. And yeah, they are metal, which is obviously an incredible thing, because who doesn't want like a metal Falcon 9 and stuff?
I don't know.
This way, I always feel good because I can just like hold it and play with it instead of just like be worried about it, falling and breaking.
You gonna make starships?
We will once it stops evolving. The problem is, like, right now, if we make one, by the time we have it in production, which took this one like a year and a half, by the time we get into production, it'll be totally different.
True.
So we'll wait until this is booster 1058. People ask, like, why does it say NASA? It's like, this is the coolest booster of all time.
Yes.
1058, the first one to fly humans, and currently the leader. It's I think it's flown 18 times now.
Oh my gosh, isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I can't keep up.
Yeah, Bob and Doug's
Bob
flight.
and Doug's.
I'll never
That's
forget.
right in front of your face. I'm just like putting
Hello.
it right there.
Hello.
Yeah. So, speaking of everydayastronaut.com/shop, we do have some new stuff.
Oh, let's talk about it. I see you have a new shirt
I
on.
do have a new shirt on, and on the back is all of the goods.
Hypergolic.
This is one of a few new shirts. This is actually an exciting one, by popular request, over at everydayastronaut.com/shop. I don't know if we're able to see it yet. Spencer might be tied up right now. Oh, no, there he is. We have, by popular request, a new pointy end up, flamey end down shirt.
Yeah.
This is one that I've been excited about forever. So, yeah, check out if you guys want to help support the work we do here, the live streams. Probably the coolest way is with some awesome merchandise. Yeah, including the hypergolic.
Love that.
Yeah, I want a lot of stuff. We have a new heat shield collection, which is
That's my
what
fave.
you have right now, a heat shield
Water bottle.
Yeah.
What is it called?
What's the brand of it? It's those one things.
You know.
Hydro flask. A hydro flask. So it keeps cool things cool and hot things hot. Just like the innards of a rocket ship. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yep. I was like, where is this? Oh, yep.
But shop around because we have awesome new stuff. You'll see this one tomorrow. I'm excited to wear our new Methalox shirt which is awesome because, there's nothing cooler than Methalox. Well, there is hydrogen, but Hydrolox would
Wow,
be
this is
cooler.
the nerdy. I
Wow.
love this. I love how nerdy this is.
But
It's good stuff.
I'm so excited because we have been working on a new merch drop for over a year. And
It's awesome.
finally came out. Allie absolutely kicked butt.
Yeah.
The hypergolic long sleeve, I'm supposed to be wearing that, but I forgot it.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I didn't forget it. It's downstairs. I just literally grabbed the wrong one before.
you can do it later.
I'll do it later.
Costume change.
Yeah, costume.
You can wear
And now-
3 more shirts before the end of the streams.
Exactly. When we do also have this huge, this is not for you guys, to be honest. This is purely for me. Like, do you know the story behind this?
No.
So I said that I really wanted like one of those like oversized like beach towels, like the huge ones, because I hate like little rinky dink ones.
Yeah.
And I
Ooh.
wanted it to be like engraved, like I don't know what they call it. Actually, I think we say it is because I always forget what it's called. What is that called? Custom sheared. You know, where it's like sheared. So it's actually like small, like it's like mowed. The pattern's mowed down in there. So it's like really thick material. So it's like big plush. And I was like, I don't even care. I should have cared because shearing it makes it like really expensive.
Yes.
But it also makes it like legit. So like it feels like big and cozy. So I've now replaced all towels in my entire life. Beach towels, house towels, pool towels, everything are all these now.
With heat shield tile
Yeah, with
towels.
heat shield tile
That
tiles.
is awesome.
Heat shield tile towels.
Heat shield tile
Towels.
towels.
So yeah,
Don't
so those
forget
are
your
also
towel.
there. Don't forget your towel.
Don't forget your heat shield
Heat
tile
shield
towel.
tile towels. So there you go. everydayastronaut.com/shop. That's enough of that. We'll not talk about it again because I was just excited to bring it up. And we'll talk about it tomorrow probably because it helps the show and it is what makes all this stuff possible. So
And it's awesome stuff.
It is actually really cool
People
stuff.
want to know about this. It's
I know
incredible.
you're right, but it always feels a little bit painful to have to do
No.
that. But I
Gotta do.
am
You gotta do.
genuinely excited about it. And yeah, I mean, we've been working on it forever. So
Yeah, it's exciting.
all right. So a question from like Dare to Dash is asking, do we ever do different models? We are working on our second set of models, by the way, which notice I said set.
Yes.
It's actually going to be a 2-pack. We're keeping everything at the same scale, same 1/100 scale. They're metal. We're actually starting at the beginning of human spaceflight. So you can compare the scale of the first rockets, Mercury, Redstone, and Mercury Atlas rockets. So the very first from the United States. Then eventually want to be able to pivot that into the first from Soviet Union, have Soyuz, so you get to see Soyuz next to Mercury Atlas, next to Mercury Redstone, next to Falcon 9, and start going through, and eventually Space Shuttle and Buran, and like you actually get to see all of these things to the same scale. But our next ones, I'm excited to announce, we are working on it, but it'll probably still be a while. These take quite a while. But the cool thing, my favorite thing, I haven't seen the prototype yet, but the engine section in real life, like ejected, so it was a stage and a half on Atlas V, so it had 2 booster engines that ejected from the bottom. You can take ours off and they do gimbal.
Oh, cool.
And so it actually does what it's supposed to do. And to me, that's just like, that makes all this stuff way cooler.
That's
So,
cool.
Fun little fact. So there you go. Oh, I hear words that the flaps are wiggling. Maybe.
I love when they do that.
I do too. It's one of the coolest things, the most surreal things. Oh yeah, I see that. That's the drone.
Oh.
Yeah. They're doing some testing.
All right.
We'll see if
Sneak.
the flaps are wiggling. That's a good unit to know if it is. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, they're moving.
I love when the flaps move like that. It's just so surreal. Those are huge. Like, I don't think people understand the scale of those things.
No.
When the
how-
rocket is 9 meters wide, the rocket's 9 meters wide. So those are what? 2.5, 3 meters wide. So almost like 10 feet wide. And they're just
What?
huge. Yeah, they're like 20, 30 feet tall. So like, I mean, they're huge.
Yeah, so I've only seen it. You can see one of the early iterations of the flap when you arrive at Brownsville Airport. So cool. And it's all dinged up,
Yeah.
Looks so different now.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see another one at the restaurant, which is just in between the production facility and the launch pad.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have an idea of the scale when you get close to those things, but man, to see it all the way up there and moving around with ease like that, it's just wild.
That's so cool. Oh, this is something YouTube just told me that I've never seen before.
Tell us.
Sadly, because it's like a graphic that we can't see, but YouTube just let me know that this is Tyler's very first super chat. So it says now, like, let's celebrate their very first super chat on
first. That's
on a
cool.
live stream. So thank you, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
Genuinely, like, helps all this stuff happen.
That's cool.
So yay, I appreciate that.
Aw.
Let's answer a few more questions though. Again, you don't have to super chat. We do appreciate that. Obviously, you know how this works. You know that, like, so yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. how do you get permissions to set up near Starship? So in our case, we're working with SpaceX as members of press. We go through the media credentialing and all of the things that it takes, and we go through it with them to make sure that what we're deploying is okay and has their blessings. So that's kind of how, and it's been something similar to that, at other launch sites, but normally work for media accreditation, like say with SpaceX, or say with Vandenberg Space Force Base. You normally go through their offices. But it's kind of depends on where you're at and what the launch pad and the situation is. In this case, it is through SpaceX to be able to get permission.
Yeah, but we've been doing this for years and years and years. How long have you been doing this officially?
Everyday Astronaut, the YouTube channel, started February 27th, 2017.
And you were already getting some media access by then?
Not through Everyday Astronaut.
Yeah.
At the time, I started with Spaceflight Now.
Cool.
And they were awesome. And, I worked the grind. I would go out to launches on my own dime and cover launches, and just to be able to have that access, to be able to be there. And it was just like the coolest thing. So I started there and just and I just couldn't stop.
What year was that?
That would have been 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's all coming up on 10 years.
Wow. I started 2018.
Yeah. Falcon Heavy, right?
That's right.
Same
Demo
with Ryan.
launch. Mm-hmm.
Same with Ryan. So fun.
Well, he started in 2015.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
oh,
with the NASA social.
You met
Yeah,
at Falcon Heavy. Was that his first time being credentialed, though? On his own, or who was he credentialed
It could
with?
be, because I know in 2015 he went through NASA Social, which is a really cool program.
really
If you're
cool program.
excited about doing something like what we're doing, try to apply for NASA Social. That gives you access to place a camera at the launch pads the way that we can as media.
No.
I
NASA
mean,
Social doesn't have.
Has been that way in the
They
past.
don't have remote camera access for NASA
Oh.
Social, but they take
He
you to the
did.
launch pad.
That was
really.
that was the way that he placed a remote camera back in 2015.
Whoa. That normally isn't. Now maybe something's changed even more recently, but I understand at least now that you don't. But you do go to the pad. They take you to the pad. You get to shoot footage and content on the
Awesome.
pad. Like
Very
so
cool.
cool. You get to watch the launch from the press site. Still an amazing opportunity. And you don't have to have like a huge. People get nervous. Like, well, I only have 4,000 followers. And he's like, 4,000 followers is
That's
still
a lot of people, man.
And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for kind of, people that are looking to have an awesome experience and share it with their community.
And grow.
So NASA Social, huge shout out to them. They are
Cool.
awesome. Let's keep answering some questions. Oh, from Curious Gamer, 22 months of membership. Thank you so much. Greetings from Germany. I was just in Germany. Loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Space Creator Day in Speyer, Germany. Outside of Frankfurt. It was amazing. There's 800 people there.
Yeah.
It was so cool. So that was really fun. It was a big fun meetup, and I look forward to meeting more people in future events. Next up, from Dare to Dash. Are they going to try and retrieve the ship or just let it slam into the ocean at transonic speeds? And if they do, what would happen to the ship? Will they try to retrieve it or not? So our understanding of the situation is they are not going to light the engines for the ship. They know they can do that. They've tested that portion of the vehicle. They've tested, can this thing go from horizontal to doing the flip to landing, right? They've tested that. They feel confident in that. They're not testing that for this one. For this mission, they're just purely making it, seeing if it can reenter. If it can reenter and it ends up falling horizontally and scrubbing off its speed, don't forget it will be transonic will happen pretty early on. Like it'll change from supersonic to subsonic pretty high up still, pretty far away, because it's just such a big, the thing just belly flops and it goes slower and slower and slower and slower. So it'll be subsonic and it's just going to smack into the ground at like 100 meters per second or something like that.
Wow.
Into the water, not the ground.
Right.
Into the water if it remains intact. So all they're worried about is like, how does it fare for reentry?
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Does it
here.
remain intact?
Does it remain intact? Is it one piece when it comes in for reentry? So that's the big question. That is the big question. Tranquility Base saying, wait until capture 3D with Apple Vision Pro. I mean, Apple Vision Pro I think will be game changing for like AR and VR, kind of that blend, and actually taking it to like the level where it probably needs to be to have mass adoption. Mm-hmm. But I still think shooting, I wouldn't want an Apple Vision Pro to be my camera to shoot out there. Like if I was doing a VR AR experience, I'd rather have like the Z cams that we have, that you guys have, that are better stereoscopic.
Just
VR.
placed them.
Yeah.
Just placed the VR camera out there today.
Darn right. Exactly. I think that's,
exciting.
Having a really high quality camera that's a dedicated camera instead of like taking
Yeah.
virtual reality goggles.
For sure.
And like setting them on
I mean,
stand on a mannequin.
we might
That'd be
want to
pretty
try
funny.
someday.
Deploy on a mannequin 'cause
With
it's like-
binaural headphones on another mannequin.
That'd be amazing. Oh, wait. You can shoot. 15 will let you shoot 3D stereoscopic images.
What? This?
I'm just now hearing this for the
Well, I
very
don't have
first
that,
time. That with the 15 Pro, you can record. I feel like there's not enough stereo separation there. I call cabbage on that one. Cabbage. I call it. This is from Olsen the Viking. Tim, have they said how long it will take to clear the tower on this launch? I know Elon at one point said Starship was going to jump off the pad. I think it'll be a similar acceleration. The difference is it'll be released they'll let it ramp up sooner, so that it'll spend less time sitting on the launch pad firing its engines. Because that was one of the big things. You know, they had done static fires, but to actually ramp up and then just sit there for like 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's a
is
lot.
what just sat there, just dug a hole underneath it. So they're trying to get off the pad in about 3 seconds from engine startup. I think T-minus 3 seconds and then plus 2 seconds. So there might be 5 seconds altogether, if I recall. So technically, Raptor engine ignition sequence starts at T-minus 3. Excitement guaranteed at T-minus 0 is what the official SpaceX thing says. And then liftoff at T plus 2 seconds. So there will be 5 seconds, but I think they might go from a low power setting to quickly ramping up and getting out of there.
Yeah.
So instead of kind of slowly ramping up over 7 seconds, I think this will be more like 3 seconds. So that will hopefully help make the pad be in better condition.
Take note, trackers.
Yeah.
Maybe about a 5-second liftoff situation.
And the trackers more or less, will probably be looking at the nose, so they'll see first motion.
True.
If they're looking down at the engine section at first, it might be completely occluded by smoke and clouds.
Would be bad.
And it'd be hard then to find it, so we got to make sure to remind all trackers to start on the nose or somewhere visible, and at least knows you always see first motion if you're far enough away. And as long as it's not being blocked, you'll see first motion. So yeah, that's always a big fun what if. Thank you so much to Lassie for becoming a member. Much appreciated. This is from Henry Blackburn. Why was the CH-4 header tank moved next to the LOX header tank? Why did SpaceX do this since they lose space for crew and cargo? Well, technically, you're not necessarily losing volume because volume that was taken up, because they used to have the methane header tank in between the main oxygen tank and the... I wish we could show that one. We probably could. We probably could grab that model. I'm just so nervous that I'll break it. It's like the most glorious model. It shows it.
It's definitely a group effort.
I know it is. Okay, so anyway, the header tank with the landing propellant basically was in its own little tank, and it was in between the two, the oxygen tank and the methane tank, and it was inside a common bulkhead, basically right there. And they used to have the oxygen tank just up in the nose. Now, if they remove that from that section, it actually increases the volume of those two tanks. Or you slightly lower where the common bulkhead is and the top bulkhead is to keep it the same volume inside there. So you're not really, so then you're lowering the space where the volume starts for the cargo and all that stuff. So it's tomato. Mm-hmm. I liked it in between the two. I thought that was a cool idea. I think they just, for balance of the vehicle, I think they just need it up in the nose. So they put it up in the nose. I think that's, yeah. I think that's. Oh, look at that!
We got something cool coming.
Oh, baby, do we have something cool coming?
Looks like it.
They might be a little early for sunrise, but we'll get to it as soon as it's stable. Man, oh man, that's going to be absolutely astonishing.
This is cool. I like this multi-view happening.
Yeah, the multi-view is great. I think we used to have a little like border that might be a key. It might be possible. Yeah, we'll have Andrew look at it.
Bottom right view is great.
All the views are great. And that bottom right view is south, I believe. No, that's North Beach. That's North Beach.
Yeah, because South Beach isn't.
Oh.
That's not
right.
online.
That's right. Okay.
Purposefully.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, man. Okay, this shot is getting crazier, by the way. Sorry, I'm so distracted. We'll pull to it as soon as it's at a point where we can pull to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, we better just show it now, even though it's still Shake City.
Wait, is that what we think it is?
Yes, it is.
There's not just someone right there.
No, that is. Oh, come on. Yeah, cut to it.
Is it windy?
They're on a really long lens. So that's actually, you're seeing a cinema camera flying through the air right now. 4K, 120 frame per second, micro four thirds camera, flying through the air right now.
Flown by 2 humans.
By 2 humans from Rotor Visual, Ben Steinman and Chad. I forget Chad's last
I
name.
think it's Chadwick Case.
Yeah.
Let me back that up with proof.
But how insane. That is going to be the most insane launch footage of all time.
That's going to be
epic.
awesome.
And of course, they're flying multiple disclosures here, licensed, insured, staying outside of the TFR, staying all within legal limits. Mm-hmm. Everything's by the books, so don't worry, don't panic.
Everything we do is by the books.
Is by the books.
We
100%.
promise.
Awesome. I mean, that's going to be incredible.
Wow. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Chadwick Case.
Cool. Oh, thank you.
Ben Steinman.
So how close? How close to Hawaii will the splashdown be, and will anyone shoot it live? If you have that animation pulled up again, we can try to bring that up again. Yeah, it might take us a second here to get that.
It's hard to kind of have. I mean, when you're looking at the globe that way, it's super cool, but it looks like it gets so close.
Yeah.
But I do wonder. I wonder how many people will be able to.
I think it will be, assuming it survives.
Yes.
And assuming the plasma trail is bright enough.
Yes.
Because it's not ablated, so the heat shield won't be nearly as it's not flaking away material, so it won't be as bright. So this is the trajectory. Again, upper stage engine cuts off around 8.5 seconds, and then it will be coasting from that point on. And let me see. Yeah, coasting. Will overfly Africa, South Africa, basically paying homage to Elon's hometown.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that crazy? I'm going to go over the Philippines, and then its reentry will be somewhere over the Pacific. And, we can kind of get a sense of where it will be in relation to Hawaii. And I think it would be visible. And I'm pretty sure there's people that are planning to try and shoot it. Mm-hmm. It is the most northwestern island, basically, that you'd probably have the best view.
I have a good friend there who typically shoots volcanic activity and gets up in helicopters and chases volcanoes around the islands, but
whoa,
I think he's going to try to capture it.
Amazing. Okay, that's incredible.
But no, we're not going to Hawaii. We
are not.
We've decided to stay put.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, maybe if they do it again and they actually land or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is from ConLab Gaming. Why did they stop streaming on YouTube? Because I don't have X on my tablet because I'm 9 years old, almost 10. Hey, ConLab. Well, first, hello. Thank you for watching. That's awesome. Glad that you're tuning in and hopefully learning and getting excited about an awesome launch. Why do they stop streaming on YouTube, though? The simple answer is because Elon owns Twitter.
X.
So it'd be, X. I'm sorry. Elon owns X. It'd be like him, driving a Ford. If, he owns Tesla, he was not going to use a Ford. He owns X. He's not going to use YouTube. Is the simple answer behind it, I believe. Mm-hmm. And they are making some big improvements. Their latency has come down. Actually, I noticed that with some recent live streams.
I'm sure this will push them to enhance everything.
And if not this specific one, going forward, it'll just get better and better. So, man, our outdoor camera is so dark. Sorry, I could go pull aperture on that. Okay, let me pull aperture on it real quick. I'll be right back. You take over the show, please.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. All right, let's see. Let's see what we've got here. When is dawn at the splashdown location if the launch is in fact 7 a.m. CST? Oh man, I got to do a lot of more math for that. But I do think I'm going to look through my little spreadsheet here in the timeline. Say it again?
I was trying to do the outdoor camera.
Yeah, do you want me to give you some feedback?
It's all right. You keep doing that.
All right.
I'll talk to Spencer here.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm looking at the mission timeline here, which, by the way, is also on our website. So if you go to everydayastronaut.com, and maybe one of the moderators can put the pre-launch preview in the chat so people can access that, you'll see a full timeline of the trajectory and this entire mission. So let's say liftoff happens. I need to adjust my liftoff window here. We only have a 20-minute window. If liftoff happens 7 a.m., it looks like we will have... Oh, that's so funny. I don't have it on here. I have to go to the website myself.
It's dark.
It's just dark?
we cut to the drone the shot right now, the drone should fly through it.
Did you hear that, Spencer?
Look at this.
Oh my gosh,
Look at this.
the drone just...
So I don't know if you have a sense of scale there. That drone that they're flying can carry 50-ish kilograms. Its capacity, it could literally fly you.
That looks tiny in this shot,
Yeah.
but it is not. It is what, 7
terrifying?
feet? Isn't it 7 feet wide?
Yeah, it's like literally over 2 meters wide. It's huge. And those humans also are huge. Ben Steinman's 2 meters tall.
Those are big guys.
Those are big humans. That drone is so big. It's actually terrifying. It is like world-ending, terrorizing. Like, I don't like being near it. I've shot some stuff with them, and
oh my god,
when they fire that thing up, it's like
that is wild.
Yeah, it's custom build, 100% custom. Yeah, again, rotor visual coming out big time with that. Absolutely amazing.
So I'll finish that. Sorry, very long-winded.
Oh, yeah.
Me searching for the mission timeline, but let's say it launches at 7 a.m. to 7:20 a.m. An hour and a half later is when we're going to see the landing.
Yes, the end of landing. So we might see entry already. 1 hour and 17 minutes after. Might be beginning to see some of those signs. So if there's tracking cameras out there, we might see it around then.
Cool. So add that, let's say around 8:30 a.m.
Yeah,
Central.
14:30ish UTC or 14:17 UTC if it takes off at 13 UTC
in Hawaii time.
Yeah. So local. Are they someone from Hawaii asking?
I don't know. Someone was just asking about dawn
Hawaii time. It will be dark there.
If it would be dark. Yeah.
Yep, it will be dark there.
4:30 still. That could be really beautiful, actually. Maybe it would get some kind of orbital twilight effect on the
maybe
on the chemicals.
Who knows? I have a great question from Derek, asking how many launches of Starship, not Starsync, do you think we will see in 2024? My opinion.
Oh,
let's hear yours.
No, I won't.
Okay, my opinion.
Yeah.
They said a dozen more or less.
That's
I would
a
definitely
lot.
say less than a dozen.
Yeah, I definitely say less than that.
I would be surprised if we see 3 or 4. That'd be like a good surprise. That'd be great.
I agree with that entirely. Yeah.
I think 4, like doubling the cadence of what we, if assuming this one launches this year, which we by all signs point to yes. 2 in 2023, 4 in 2024 would be a good goal. 8 in 2025. Like doubling.
You know what though? So what is this, an exponential graph? If it were.
I mean, that's almost what Falcon 9's doing with its flight rate, and
I guess that's
really close to, like darn close. Not quite doubling, but
that's still
1.5-ish.
exciting. That's still
insane.
just every couple months we're going to have some excitement, you know.
I definitely think it'll be, especially assume the launch pad works out this time. Assume there's not a massive FAA investigation or some mishap. Then, I mean, it could be like remember SN 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 all happened within 5 months.
Rapid fire. That's a really good point.
So we could see it closer to that. Where
I would love
once
that.
they kind of have it more flight proven and they're happy with the way things turned out within a certain realm, boom, 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 boom. Now at this point, production's gonna have to pick up.
Yeah.
Because they do have a limit. I mean, they're doing great. They're producing Raptors more often than I'm producing videos by a factor of 10.
Oh, we've got a scale now.
Yeah. But as far as boosters, they are, boosters and ships, it still is taking them a few months to do so. So, yeah, just wild. Wild.
I forgot to put the question that I answered on the screen. I'm going to do that. That was from Robert Hess. Thanks for asking that question.
All right.
Thank you.
I think they're going to be taking off again here in a second, and that will be, when it does take off, it's going to be closer and closer to sunset. We're getting real close. So my goal today was to get through sunset so we can get a sense. Oh, this is our time now. By the way, 5:30 is about 10 minutes till sunset. So that'd be approximately 10 minutes after sunrise. Will be similar but opposite lighting conditions.
Interesting.
So instead of the sun beaming on the shiny side, the leeward side of the rocket,
that's going to be so nice.
it'll be light on the dark side, on the windward side. So,
wow.
But this is similar-ish, to same lighting conditions. Of course, the morning tends to be foggier and dewier. So,
especially tomorrow morning.
really, is it like extra bad?
I'm I'm being told it's possible, but to be honest with you, we should consult Gene.
Yeah.
A surfer
Text him.
knows.
Text Gene. What's visibility going to be like? Good friend. We love Gene. I still haven't seen him since last time, so
I know.
we got to make sure we see him. This is from Darren. Will SpaceX have any recovery ships or cameras in the area where Starship and or the booster will splash down? How far offshore does that happen? Love the coverage. Thanks. Well, thank you so much, Darren. So I don't know if we know the exact location, how far off downrange. If someone in Discord knows the exact, I don't know if that's separately published because the whole exclusion zone is so big. I don't know if we have a pinpoint area they're aiming at with the booster. And there's no, as far as there's definitely no like recovery. They don't have a tugboat planning to pull it back in. I'm pretty sure the plan is to sink it. Same with Starship. They don't have a plan to pull it back in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just sink it like they do.
Do you know, I mean, who's going to go on the first mission to try to go down there and see it?
James Cameron.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, James Cameron.
Duh.
All right, drone is back up in the air. And again, sense of scale here. This thing's over 2 meters wide. It's hard to... And my horizon's terrible on that camera, by the way. I apologize. Doesn't it look a little bit tilted the wrong way?
It is a little bit.
A little.
It's not terrible, but
it's not horrible. If they just flew a little bit higher, it'll get into the sun, into the sky. It's hard to see amongst the foliage and the... But that's the view from there. It's got a 50 to 135 on a micro 4/3, so that's double. So 100 to 270 equiv. Shooting 4K 120. And boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I can't wait.
Yes,
That's
even
gonna
that
be
shot
cool.
right there.
Yeah.
If that is the shot of it lifting off and it has a little bit of movement like that, where
It's going to be cool.
the perspective, like that parallax.
Woo.
Oh man, again, rotor visual, absolutely killing it. They've done some really cool projects, and this one is, yeah, just very exciting. That is so cool. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
that'll be absolute clutch tomorrow. Don't take that shot to air because
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, exactly.
We'll keep that to us.
Let's see here. This is from Adrian. When James Burke was asked by a BBC executive what he knew about rockets, he replied, "Pointy end up, flamey end down." He was given the
Cool.
Apollo flight manual and told, "Learn it. The rest is history."
No way.
I didn't know that came from something, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
What was the origin for you?
I just said it once on a Kerbal stream.
No way.
Yeah.
That's wild. Wait, is someone trolling right now? Are they just being silly?
I don't know. Look at
I mean, that's
James
okay.
Burke.
That's
I mean, that
fine.
is totally fine to be goofball city here. James Burke, pointy and up. I'm just going to... I don't know. I typed that in. I didn't see anything immediately. That's not necessarily...
I think
means.
this is a joke.
Well, it could be. I'm too out of touch with reality at this point to have any sense of this. Let's see. Oh no, Bathtop says the press bus has beached itself on the sand at Starbase and can't get out.
I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not.
To be
surprised
honest
at all
with you,
either.
everybody gets stuck on the Boca Chica beach sand.
Yes, it's
That's
so
just like
bad.
a rite of passage.
It is. It is. I've never been stuck.
Really? Well, your car has been stuck though.
Really, without me? Oh yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think you know about that, right?
I forget.
It wasn't me. I will.
I do recall now. It's actually a certain people on
certain
right
people.
there. Yeah. Tyler Dupree says, "What went wrong with Flight 1 and engines of IFT-1, and is it likely to happen again?" I think that's a great question. I think we don't have every answer on what exactly went wrong with every engine, but one of the biggest things that we know for sure happened was there's a pretty massive and uncontrolled fire inside the engine bay. And what that means is it's going to start chewing away at wires and flight computers and so many things that are not meant to happen. So one of the big upgrades and one of the things that SpaceX worked on with the FAA was having a massive fire suppression system. So they had a little itty bitty boy, but actually those chines that you see like running up the side of the booster, those are actually, one of them is filled completely with CO2 for fire suppression. So that's going to make a huge difference. So if there is, something that goes wrong with the engines and a fire starts, they have a way to extinguish it almost immediately. Hopefully almost immediately.
Incredible.
So
So let's hope so.
let's hope. That's one of the big things. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I still have not heard any official word. If anyone knows better than me, please let me know. I have not ever heard whether or not they think a root cause of an engine failure was because of debris.
Yeah, I have not heard that.
I don't think it ever actually, because it kind of was more or less shot, ejected outward and not necessarily straight back up per se.
Yeah.
It could have.
It definitely could have.
I don't know, though. I don't have any. I've never heard that.
And I know we have, there's this huge, very full report that we don't have access to for reasons. So somebody knows.
Somebody knows. But if debris was an issue, debris may have been an issue maybe with the hydraulic power units, or something like that. It could have been an issue that led to some of the failures. Those are also literally some of the first Raptor 2 engines off the line in the grand scheme of things. They're very old Raptor 2s. These ones are still actually pretty old.
Yeah.
We're only in the hundreds, and these were early hundreds. They're newer engines, therefore better reliability, hopefully better everything. But that isn't an excuse of everything's going to be perfect with them, but I do expect increased reliability out of them.
Here's a good question. What does the new acronym IFT stand for? This is from Portal to the Weekend.
Yeah, throw that.
I thought it was
if you can.
OFT.
So yeah, IFT in this case they're saying is integrated flight test. It's the integration of the Starship and the Super Heavy booster. So the whole thing, it's the full stack. It's a helicopter.
Huh. Is that in our view? Sounds very close.
Whoa, cool. I didn't even know that.
That's fun because I know that's what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. Hopefully the helicopter's staying within its airspace.
Oh, yes.
Because helicopter pilots stay in the airspace. They're staying legally in their airspace. So what was the question? IFT, integrated flight test. OFT has meant orbital flight test in other missions, such as Boeing has called their flight test OFT for Starliner. This technically, it's we say orbital-ish around here because for all intents and purposes, literally if they burned the upper stage engines for even the shortest amount of time, an extra second or two, would literally be putting them into orbit.
Yeah.
So it's
not quite.
It's basically orbit. It's not. They are intending to be suborbital, but with the capability of being a fully orbital mission if they wanted to. You know what I mean? And this is, again, all on by design to be as safe as possible. Man, I'm looking at these sunset shots.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Dang, this is
wow.
This is like Lion King or something.
It is. Somebody
look at that
quick.
Wildlife flying through there.
Put the song on top of the view.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Dang, I hope you got your 4K TVs going now for that. I mean, that is hot.
That's gorgeous.
That is very, very, very cool.
Wow, we're only
You can actually
T-minus
see it. You can literally see it kissing the horizon.
Yeah. Ooh.
Man, how does that happen on the flat Earth model? I just don't understand.
Oh, don't get me started. Come on.
That's one of those things you can see this with your own.
Rile them up. Everyone's about to go nuts.
I just don't get it. You can watch it.
It's true. It's
what is that?
It's
I don't know.
going into a hole in the ground.
Yeah. Don't give me any new ideas. Okay, this is a simple one, a simple request from Ghost Dog. Great name. Can you recap on what's going on right now? Well,
yes.
We're hanging out. We're getting ready and hyped up for an incredible spaceflight mission that is going to be happening in T-minus
13 hours.
And
if you look at the top left,
minutes.
which I can barely see.
I know. 13 hours, 22 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So, we're just hanging out, testing our systems here, watching an insane sunset.
Gorgeous.
And just excited to be hanging out with you guys and making sure everything's working. We got a few things to tweak, but honestly, I'm feeling pretty darn good.
I'm so impressed and really excited.
Yeah.
Feel very comfortable.
I know. This is just amazing. So.
Oh, what? Ben Huel, if I'm saying that correctly. Oh my gosh, everything's flying by so fast. I can't highlight this. Jared Isaacman is flying over in a minute. Is it true?
Ooh.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, it's flying past. I can't.
Okay, let me try and answer some more questions because there's a ton flying in. And if you see that, let us know. Let's see here. This is, some of this. Okay, this is from CJR. Was disappointed I couldn't watch with my middle school students today. Thanks for the coverage. Going to watch with them on Monday, hopefully. Yeah, do the replay. Hopefully we have an amazing. Thank you for saying hi, by the way, CRJ, and hello to your students. I just did 2 talks for middle school students on last Friday and on Tuesday. Gotta inspire those kids. I mean, those are the future generations. So
that's absolutely right.
Thank you for wanting to watch.
Green flash potential. Sorry.
Oh yeah, green flash potential on the.
I was
drone
wondering
shot.
about that. I always wonder when.
When is it? The very
I
last.
thought it was over the ocean. Why do I not
No.
know that?
Switch back to the drone shot real quick. Right at the very last millisecond. That's crazy.
Oh, we live on a planet.
And
We live on a planet
and
in space.
and she gone.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Wow. Gorgeous.
I love that I still get excited about sunsets. That's
Yeah. That's good.
And look at what it's doing to the lighting on the rockets. I mean,
Wow.
rocket. I guess there's 4 on screen. They're the same rocket. But yeah, to answer your question though, what are we doing here? We're hanging out, and also, CJR middle school students, tell them hi. If it launches on Saturday, watch the replay. Maybe it launches on Sunday, Monday. At this point, who knows? They have a 20-minute launch window on Saturday at 7 a.m. Central for 20 minutes. That's 13 UTC on Saturday, November 18th. Tune in right here. We will have 4K coverage for you guys. We will leave our feet up all night so you can watch even our beautiful night shots. And it's going to be an awesome show. So, let's see here. This is from Life Distilled. Great coverage and information. Watching with my girlfriend who is new to this stuff, but she's learning a lot. Keep it up. Love to hear that.
Hey.
We want to be a family and all-inclusive. We want to get everyone excited about this stuff. That's the point
right.
of Everyday Astronaut. Bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. That's not
That says
on the shirt.
hypergolic.
That does say hypergolic. That didn't say anything about my tagline. That's the whole point of what we're doing. Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. We want you guys to be excited about this because, in my opinion, this is like, there's so much things to not be excited about.
Yeah.
You know, there's tragedies, there's war, there's heartbreak, there's all of these woeful, sad things. And this is a thing that we can look to and collectively admire the sheer brilliance and engineering and hard work of humans trying to further humanity.
It is so inspiring to know that when we all put our minds to a singular, beautiful vision, we can do anything.
Anything.
We can do that. We can do anything. And it inspires the rest of life. And hopefully, the woefulness
To me, it helps, honestly. Like, it helps
does,
me
of
just
course.
be positive and be excited and be thankful and hopeful.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's so much more fun to get together with people and watch something awesome instead of, like, and there's things to be sad about. There's
we
things
have to think about those things
There's
as
things
well.
to be, to take seriously and to take action on. But there should also be big parts of your life that you wake up excited for and want to witness and you want to be a part of. And to me, that's like literally what this is all about. So thank you for watching Life Distilled and your significant other. We do greatly appreciate that. Another question from Hunter. Why is the launch window only 20 minutes this time instead of 2 hours like it was today? I've
been so curious about this.
We don't know.
Really, no clue.
Say. No idea. It could simply be logistics of like the TFR, the temporary flight restriction. You know, I'm making this up, but it could be like FAA is like, or the county might be like, hey, we don't want you to close the beach that much time on Saturday morning. Weekend beach closures. So like, let's minimize that time. Could be an option.
Isn't that wild?
Could be, TFR, FAA saying like, hey, it's Saturday. We already have these flights going this way. Like, we're going to reroute all these flights. So we'll give you a 20-minute window.
What do you think? I don't know this either. What was the original 2-hour window? What were the implications of that? It's not like it's going somewhere where it needs to launch within a specific window, whereas many other missions, that is
a thing. Where there's like an instantaneous launch window or something like that. That is not the case here. Why 2 hours then instead of
4?
I think it's just what they're capable of getting. I think at this point they're just like, give us what we can.
Okay,
like, give us whatever you can. And they'll just take whatever they can get.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was like we were waiting around all day for SN8. Hours and hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to have a little bit of clarity.
Yeah.
We'll know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this time period.
I love that. At least like for us here, it takes some of that stress out of like, is it going or not? Because being on pins and needles for 2 full hours.
It's a lot.
Is a lot. So 20 minutes, I'm into that. This is from Marta the Grape. Thank you for becoming a member. This is from Tibinin. Us and the ring watchers believe that the hot staging ring is about 9 tons. I believe it actually says that in the document. I think it's 20,000 pounds, about 9 tons. Do you think B9 will land, and how will it sink with 50 tons of engines in 34 meters of water? Yeah, I think that someone brought it up earlier. You know, maybe they would trigger the flight termination system once it's successfully touched down as a way to sink it. I'm not beyond thinking that's out of the possibilities. Yeah, that's about the only thing I can think of. Maybe there's a way to open, I don't know, you know, flood the thing or something. You know,
Why
open
not
all
just
the.
let it float. Why not?
Someone would eventually go out. It's pressurized still. Don't forget.
Oh, never mind. That's
So
a
maybe
bad
they
idea.
fully don't go
there.
approach it if it's floating there for 3 weeks. Still pressurized. So what they could do in theory, they could like open up all the vents, vent it all out, totally depressure it, open up all the valves, the main valves on every engine, hope that slowly it takes in enough water through the entire, like it would, I don't think they'd do that. So
Yeah.
just talking like physically, what could you do? I'm not sure. From Jonas or Jonas, I never know how to say it. If it's spelled like that, became a member. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Sven saying, let's celebrate 32 months of membership. Just want to let you know that it was awesome meeting you at Space Creator Day. I love that. That's so
very cool.
That's so cool to like see people and meet them in real life and then internet
it?
just be like, we're still connected, you know? I love that.
And so cool to be able to be in touch with people across the pond that can't be here for a lot of this stuff.
And when someone asked why 4K, I mean, that's kind of,
For them.
that's a big thing. Like 4K, baby,
Hell
we
yeah.
have that capability. And it costs a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of headache. But when it comes together and it's glorious, I mean, come on. It is just amazing. So
I'm so curious about this Polaris flight that's supposed to be coming in.
yeah, I am too.
Look up South Texas, fly over shortly. That's official.
Cool. Crazy Fuzzy, aren't Starship and Super Heavy booster positively buoyant in seawater? If doing a soft landing, what keeps them from floating about? So that's exactly the problem, is that we're assuming they have ways to mitigate from just floating around forever and have a way to sink it, would be my guess. And again, we don't know for sure, but flight termination system, if I were in charge, I'd look into that. Yeah. Let's see. This is from John Wick. Could the condensation and frost from the tanks get behind and affect the heat shield tiles? Whoa. I mean, they have fueled the rocket many times. We've seen a flight out of it. This heat shield actually held up way better than I thought. From observations and some of the tracking shots. It looks like they did. I mean, there's some missing, but it wasn't an insane amount of heat shield tiles missing. I don't know. I'm sure they've looked into that. I'm sure they've practiced, you know, frosting that up, seeing how they hold on and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's all the kind of stuff that you do have to think about, you know? Yeah. Wait, I wonder what jet Jared's flying over in, by the way.
I don't know, but it seems like the gang is here. He says, look up South Texas, fly over shortly. They just took off 1 minute ago. Fueling up KCOS.
Hope we get to see something awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Wow.
Oh, so it is the MiG and at 2 Alpha jets. Let's go. That will be awesome.
I'm sure we'll hear it.
Yeah, we might need to keep that wide shot there. I mean, if it flies around anywhere there.
Are we? No. Is that just the AC?
Air conditioning. Jets.
I get very excited.
Oh, it's actually a boat.
Okay, well, I feel
close.
a little
You were
better.
close.
There's
That
a
is
motor.
better.
I don't know. Sounds of vehicles.
Oh, man. Well, hey, someone basically spent $2 on advertising, and I'm fine with it. Come on down to Texican Barbecue Company for good old barbecue. There you go. Basically paid $2 for an ad read. We should not start this trend.
Dang.
And this one,
That was cheap.
$4 from Chick-fil-A saying, please come down here and we
just
will
did
bless. What?
You just went with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, imagine if this is what it becomes. I should not start this trend.
No. Let's ignore that.
But I do want to support local business, so it's kind of a
True.
hard thing.
Absolutely.
So thank you for saying hi. We'll keep it at that.
I wasn't familiar.
I am not endorsing your barbecue until I taste it.
I can't wait. I do look forward to it.
Aaron, everyone reports these SpaceX crypto scammers. They need to get out of here. Yep, YouTube needs to do something about it permanently. I'm not seeing crypto scammers, which we have a few things in our wheelhouse trying to mitigate that. But
Yep.
yeah, just definitely ignore them. Report them if you see them. We can take them down together. From Carl. What's your opinion on the high tens number of tanking ships needed for Artemis 3? Yeah, I do wish. I just saw. Was that a bird that just flew?
Was it a bird or a plane?
Oh, is it a bird or a plane? I looked up and just barely We need to have you have a program monitor.
I know we always say that, and then it's
Why don't we get one? We can go grab something tonight.
Okay, well, it's of the priorities.
I know, but it's
not worried
things
about
I
it. I
can't-
could probably just.
Oh,
Okay.
that was it, by the way. That was the jets.
Really?
Yeah, they flew by on our feed.
Okay, I need a program monitor.
We need a program monitor. I just barely looked up and saw it. That was sick. That means we might be able to see them
Well,
now.
they're gonna keep
Hang on,
running
I'm going
around.
outside.
Wait, I'm coming.
Are you guys seeing the jets?
Wait for me.
Where are they? Oh, right there. Hold on, I'm going to aim this camera at them. Maybe we can get a sense of perspective. Oh, no way. That is so cool. This is probably way too dark now, too. I'm going to brighten it up. We don't know. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. I don't know what we have on that. We do not have our tracking assets deployed right now, but that is so cool.
Only one mic out there.
Only one mic out here. Okay, so Mary Liz, you are not working. We will work on that tonight. Checklist item. It's nice to, I don't hear, you hear me. Well, why don't you go, but if you're talking, people can't hear you. Wah, wah. Okay, you watch. Oh, that's so sick. I love that. Crazy that I've flown in those. In the Alpha Jet and the MiG. Yeah. People can't even hear you. Let's go inside. Here, I'll point this out that way. I don't know if it's exposed anywhere near correct, but. How is it for exposure? Oh, it's pretty decent. Okay, you can turn around though if you want to see, because you can probably see them just on the horizon there. Maybe they already flew through.
Here, huh?
Oh man.
Yo.
Oh, yeah. Oh well.
So
Oh, man.
what I was talking about on the deck that no one could hear was I have been waiting for the report, the MiG report. What was that like to fly in that thing?
Hang on, I'm just making sure. Are people having problems with our 4K? I mean, I'm seeing stuff in 4K. Are people not seeing that? Just confirming. Give us a 4K check. Give us a 4K check. Yeah, so it was the MiG and 2 Alpha Jets.
Not a bird, you missed it.
I just barely saw it fly through. Yeah. Oh, exposure better outside than inside, to be honest. We do need to... You talk. You talk.
Yo.
I'll fix exposure.
All right. Oh, but still want to know.
Here. I will fix this.
Are the issues or concerns with destacking and restacking with the FTS installed? Help me out.
Well, are the issues with...
Having FTS installed while destacking and stacking. Surely.
Are there problems with it when there's FTS installed?
Yeah. Well, if it's
Well,
not
they're not
armed.
armed.
Yeah.
They're not armed.
It won't be armed until the last stack.
Right.
That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, they don't arm it until
But it
they're
does seem
totally ready
scary.
for flight. Yeah.
And I should push that.
And
button.
yes, so basically, oh, is that camera not actually,
Which
we need
camera?
to check that. One of the cameras they're saying is not piping in 4K. But,
This buddy.
yeah, I
It
wonder
may
if
just be
we need to check those HDMI settings on the output of the camera because we always have this debate. In order to do 4K output, you do have to bring it down to pro. You can't do ProRes. You have to do H.264. So I do wonder.
could be.
We will look into it. Just flew by again. Well,
Oh man.
okay. So what's it like then to, what's it like then to fly in the MiG?
Please tell me I've been waiting for this
haven't seen me
report
since-
for so long. I haven't seen you since then.
Yeah, the MiG was a huge step up compared to the Alpha Jet. So what I didn't realize, and I should have thought about this the whole time, the Alpha Jet could pull really like hard G's for a moment, but it bleeds off so much speed when it does it, it can't like sustain a hard, like 7 G's. Mm-hmm. So it might spike for a second and then like, and you just feel it and you go, ow, ooh, ow, like that.
Yeah.
But it has to, in order to maintain airspeed, it has to come out of those turns, come out of those pulls and go fast, pull, it's like these shorter bursts, and maybe it'll sustain, 4 or 5 Gs more continuously. The MiG, on the other hand, has enough power that you can just put it into a full 7G pull and hold it for a minute.
Wow.
So, like, we started at high altitude and just did this big pull down, 7 Gs for, like, literally a minute.
Oh, my God.
And you're just sitting there going...
Did
just
they give
trying to
you
breathe.
Breathing exercises?
Yeah,
or?
and you kind of do... You're supposed to do, like a... I don't remember what it is.
Oh, another
It's like a
question
sound.
was how's
You're
the
supposed to make
training
a
going?
sound. Yeah, obviously that's not anything to do with Dear Moon. That's purely because Jared's awesome and invites some members of the press to come out and experience this so that we can help explain why they do this and the reason why Polaris in particular, or any realistically institution of spaceflight has done fighter jet training, especially like NASA, is because it's the perfect environment to have high stress, high physical stress,
mental stress,
needing to have that situational awareness, having things vibrate in real time with real world consequences. It all comes together when you're inside of a cockpit, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, if we don't do this right, it's dire. It is a life or death situation. I need to be ahead of the plane. I need to be able to think about what's going to happen. We're coming up. We're 7 miles on approach. We need to have X, Y, and Z happening. We need to be in this glide slope. All of these things, you need to be thinking ahead before you get to that point. And so learning those things and checklist items and all these disciplines that you learn inside of the stressful environment of a fighter jet directly pop over to being inside of a rocket.
Yeah.
It's the same exact discipline. It's the exact same, same but different, obviously. The forces are actually a lot more painful in a fighter jet.
Yeah, I was going to say
7 Gs and it's down. It's like pushing, and it's not along your back. In space flight, when you actually experience the highest Gs during reentry, and that's like you're laying down on the ground almost with your like knees up.
Yeah.
So it is, the G forces are distributed through your entire body.
Right.
This is more like you're just getting like crunched down. It's not as crunchy as you'd think. Like it's not like compressing your back. I thought it would. I thought I'd be like, oh, my back's gonna hurt. But it really just feels like your entire body is being the life squeezed out of you by a boa constrictor.
Wow.
That's the best way to describe it, as a boa constrictor.
Whoa.
I've never been squeezed by a boa constrictor.
I was going to say, how do you know?
The best way I can describe it is that time that I almost died when a boa constrictor constricted almost me to the very last breath. Wow. No, it feels just like your entire body's being squeezed. It's not like one particular, you don't feel a vector force too much. You don't feel like, it's just all of it. All of it, everything just feels crazy.
Was that the most surprising thing, or what was the
compared
thing
to the Alpha Jet? Because I did experience some of that in the Alpha Jet, but then when it's like, oh, this can happen for a long time, and afterburners were awesome. Afterburners are like the coolest thing. So I've officially basically ridden a rocket now because afterburners basically turn a jet engine into a mild rocket by having a D-Lavelle nozzle. The afterburner, you'll notice a nozzle actually constricts and makes a D-Lavelle nozzle, so it'll pinch the flow and then expand it, and they're dumping more fuel into that already oxidizer-rich exhaust, and that's what allows it to basically turn into a rocket engine, and you feel it.
Wow.
Like, I was always like, oh, is it just like in the, I hate, like, in car movies when they hit nitrous, and you're like,
yeah,
and they, like, totally exaggerate it, and then they do that same thing with, like, afterburners. It's always like, you're gonna hit the afterburners, whoa, like, and it's actually pretty close to that.
Wow.
It really is like a, just an extra substantial push,
Wow.
So I loved it. We did an afterburner run over like 500 feet above sea level or above ground level, right down the runway. Like we're coming in for our final. Instead of just doing a simple, boring final, you got a fighter jet, so you ask for permission. Hey, can we do a quick one around? He just buzzes the runway with the afterburners lit.
Whoa.
And then at the end of the runway to go onto his crosswind, he just breaks, like, so he has to bleed off all that speed he just got with the afterburners down the runway, bleeds off all that speed in the crosswind. So when you're downwind, all of a sudden he's kind of on a normal approach pattern, and so he like just pulls 7-8 Gs. Like I think it spiked at 8.
Oh my god!
And that was the craziest one.
Wow.
So I absolutely just...
You trying to get pretty high. How high did you end up going? Do you know?
So we didn't do the thing that I wanted. I wanted to see, we'd do a max alt run, altitude run. The only place to do that really is Death Valley.
I see.
So or over the ocean. So we were unable to do that in Montana.
Gotcha.
But someday we still want to do it. Do like a full afterburner run, max altitude, and try to see if we can see like the sky get blacker. I mean, come on.
All right.
How can you not?
That is still in the future then.
I haven't even posted any video from that.
I know.
I should just post the raw video.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes of flying.
Yeah.
I flew the jet. I flew.
What?
Yeah, I came back in from like the free practice area, kind of, or whatever you want to call it, and I flew in and like
To land? You were
I didn't
going
go all
to.
the way. No, I didn't go all the way to land because I was practicing. I'm working on my pilot's license, so I was fresh off of that from Slick. I was flying in Pennsylvania with Slick for a week, who's an incredible fighter jet pilot, like a Thunderbird, like former Thunderbird pilot.
Incredible.
Like, unbelievable.
What better coach?
You literally can't ask for better. And so I'm all fresh on flying a Cessna 172 and a 182, and all of a sudden I'm at the stick of a MiG.
Oh my god.
And it was actually relatively tame. The crazy thing though is like, it's just like this. It clicks. It's like so
no
when you're
way.
banking, it's almost like this like
Whoa.
notchy feeling almost because it's so instantaneous.
Whoa.
And it's not it's fly by wire.
Yep.
So it's not you have almost a weird tiny disconnect between your motion and the roll and all the maneuvers. But the fun thing is he had me hold a heading and then like try to maintain different altitude and speed and then descend and change heading. And I nailed it, and it felt really good because I was like,
cool.
I wanted to do well. Obviously, I'm flying with Jared Isaacman. Like, I want to do well.
Yeah.
And I nailed it. So I kind of walked off that plane like strutting my stuff just a little bit. So.
Nice work.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to finally hear that.
Oh man. All right, we got a few more questions. Then we got to get out of here because we got to get the teams fed.
Yes.
That's an important
Really
thing.
important.
Oh, look at this shot.
Wait. What? Oh my god.
That is beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That is so gorgeous.
I think that's my favorite shot so far. That's been my favorite composition.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
I just love seeing the dunes. It's so unique to this place.
Someone's asking me to turn my mic up. I'm right where we should be, I think, in levels. I might be moving away from it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll try to do a better job
Please.
of eating the mic. They're very
Could you
directional.
please light Mary Liz's face better? I keep seeing that.
Yeah, we'll try.
You don't have to do it right now.
Yeah, we'll work on
do
it for
later.
tomorrow.
It's
We'll work
totally
on it for
fine.
tomorrow. We'll rearrange stuff, and I think the other time we actually had you over on this side, so I don't remember. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going here. We got a few more questions. We got to kind of prioritize. I don't like prioritizing super chat stuff because I love everyone's good questions.
Yeah.
Like there's some awesome questions, but we do have to thank the people that help make this stuff happen. So let's just fly through a few of these. This is from Trainman 4014. Do you think a flame trench would have stopped the problem with the concrete breaking in the first place? And what's your prediction on how the water deluge will work? Yeah, of course, a flame trench absolutely could have helped. People ask, like, why didn't they do that? And the simple answer, in my opinion, is because it just would have been an insane amount more red tape and money.
Yeah.
A flame trench is not cheap. And it's like the best part is no part is through and through a thing that SpaceX thinks about. They wrongfully assumed that actually they didn't wrongfully assume because they already had the water. They had parts for the water deluge system already ready before the first launch. Now, in order to install it, they were going to have to dig a giant hole.
And what better way to do that?
Yeah, with a giant rocket. So, I mean, they knew, I think, at least to some degree, maybe not how bad it would be and how much it would throw concrete. I think they thought it'd more just like make a small pit or something, not a giant pit throwing concrete where it did.
No, I don't think there was that much awareness about the damage.
But they were going to have to excavate it anyway. And I think obviously they've looked at flame trenches, but that's, if you don't have to build something, if you don't have to overbuild something, find the right solution that works at a more reasonable level. And I feel like the water deluge will at least, again, if it fails, it won't fail nearly as spectacularly. It'll be,
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree.
This is just from Thomas. Thank you so much for the super chat. It didn't work. Maybe these will work. Okay, from James asking, what will keep the booster cool during staging? So basically a heat shield. I don't think it's an active heat shield, but the hot staging ring itself is enough material. It's more or less the top. It's like having two tops to the top of the booster. And I think between those two surfaces, and for a short sustained period of time with the venting, there's big vents to alleviate the air, the gas pressure. Hopefully it just works. I don't know. I think I don't think they necessarily need to actively cool it. They just need to have a place for the exhaust to go and to minimize the amount of time and energy hitting the top of that. So we will see. Tennessee Ferry wants to know Tim, you will be sure to plan your bathroom break long before this launch. Good luck tomorrow. Remind me of that. Well, should we write that into our
Run of
by the
show.
way, you
Yes.
we need to stop saying run of show. You are mission director.
I'm the mission director.
You are. I mean, she's been behind the scenes of every aspect of this production now, doing all the logistics and all of the who's where and what and why and how, and the run of show all the way top to bottom.
Everybody's really good at taking ownership of their thing.
Yes.
I'm just
but someone has to be at the top, making sure that it's because I'm not that organized. And that's why you've been hired.
I love to be organized. It's my favorite
so you
thing.
are the mission director of this live stream. So,
can I change my title? I like that better.
Yeah.
Than program manager.
You mean like
director?
all together, like for the whole company?
Yeah.
Of course. That's actually way better. Anyway.
That's so much better. Allie's downstairs it's fine.
Why didn't we think of that forever ago?
It's been fun.
That will happen, and you will have to remind me to use the restroom.
Use the restroom.
Like T-minus.
I will learn how to look at the chats better.
T-minus 30 minutes maybe. Like I'm trying to find a good time in the timeline where there's not a lot happening.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I'll open the run of show right now.
Well, we also have the countdown on everydayastronaut.com/pre-launch previews, and you can find our rundown of all of the things. Let's see here. This is Chazzy Mac. I couldn't comment earlier because I was on the road, but I'm feeling 8 out of 10 for the launch. I'll be watching from home in Hawaii as I think it'll be too far north for me to see from the beach.
Shoot.
I mean, cool. Awesome. That would be so cool to be able to catch it. If you would be able to see it, I would definitely watch it on the stream. And it's worth probably poking your head outside if you're looking in the right direction.
Especially if it's 4:30 a.m. It might look like a meteorite coming down.
You might see it.
I don't know.
It'd be worth at least poking your head out. You wouldn't want to miss that. Thank you, Chazzy Mac. So great to hear from you. We really, really enjoy. I've seen you forever.
Maybe T-minus 35 minutes before we do our go no go internal poll.
Yeah,
that's when you'll have to do the bio break.
I love that. When is when with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Been watching since SN5's flight. Thanks for your amazing content. We all appreciate what you do. Could Starship make it to the ISS without refueling? Also, new Starbase tour when? Thank you so much. Huge. That's incredible. Thank you so much for your generous support.
That's a great question.
So, yes, absolutely. Starship can get into low Earth orbit, assuming it took off from Kennedy Space Center, where it can fly at that 51.6 degrees northeast trajectory to match up with the International Space Station. You can't rendezvous with the International Space Station from here. It just won't ever line up. We're on a very limited trajectory, very small window where you're threading the needle between the islands and Florida and all that. It's you got to stay around this little tiny path. So you can't, without a big dogleg maneuver, you can't line up for it to rendezvous with the ISS. Now, if it was taking off from Florida, yes, you could. So that's always fun. And a new Starbase tour when? I don't know. I would love to. I would love to do it when there's still a rocket on the pad, but that's not happening anytime soon. So, yeah. All right. Astronaut, let's see. From undefined, unfortunately, is one of the graphic things that doesn't work with our system, unfortunately, but thank you so much to Matthew. Let's see here. What's the apogee of the trajectory for this flight? Did they actually list that in the...
I don't know if they say when it reaches apogee, but I don't feel that they have ever.
I don't think they published that detail.
Yeah. Well, let's consult Discord.
Yeah, Discord. Anybody know?
We got some folks in there that would probably know if.
And flightclub.io might have an estimate.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Let's see here. I just want to answer this. I know it's not it's super chat. I said we're just going to fly through to thank everyone for all their awesome questions, but this is too good of a question. Karma. Why did SpaceX stop testing Starship landing? I think they're why would we waste more time doing something we know we're capable of doing? We're going to have to work on landing again anyway when we get to these orbital stages. To them, that's more of a solved problem. The bigger unsolved problem is the full launch.
Yeah.
So they want to work on that. That's priority. They will still, assuming a full launch is successful, they will be practicing landings anyway in some of those regimes anyway. They've done it. They know they can do it. Why continue to just practice that? If I was running the program, I probably would have, just because I'd be well, we did it once. I'd like to at least... I
love to practice.
Practice it again, or fly 15 again would have been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, anytime it flies, they have to shut down all of the other operations that are going on. It slows the progress of this that we're seeing right now.
Right.
So why would they practice landing more when this is the goal? So I think that's the answer to that question. From Matthew Robertson, If the launch is scrubbed, when is the next window? We have not been published, but we do think, if they have an attempt to launch, if they fill it, I believe the next attempt would be the next day. I think they still have a next day turnaround.
Cool.
I believe after that, it gets a little muddier. It might be 2 or 3 days. Don't know the exact timeline, but there is limited propellants, so they do have to start replenishing, bringing in all those hundreds of trucks to replenish the millions of gallons or whatever it is, of propellant. So I believe the turnaround time might slip the reserves more or less get lower and lower and lower, so they have to start bringing it in. So I think it's something like, they can do a 24-hour turnaround. Then after that, it might be like 48 hours or 72 hours. Then after that, it might be another 72 hours. Like it kind of gets worse, is my understanding. And hopefully we don't see that.
Yeah.
And SpaceX will just let us know when the next opportunity is, because some of it might be licensing as well. So
let's just do it tomorrow.
Exactly. David, this is one of those emotes that we can't see, so it just says a fan character dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air. Thank you so much. Let's see. This is from Michael Mays. Do you think SpaceX will use the Starship flight termination system to ensure breakup going into the Pacific? Yeah, we've kind of talked about that again. Sorry, you probably asked this like 30 minutes ago as I was explaining it. I think that is an option. I don't know. I do not know. It's a good question. We're seeing it a lot, actually. And I think only time will tell.
Yeah.
When there is a booster sitting on top of the ocean, unsunked. Will they...
The sunken
booster. And Starship, maybe. Will they hit the boom boom button? Unsunked boom boom. Yes or no? We don't know.
I see a new line.
No.
Unsunken.
Hey, by the way, you know why? Okay, I've been asked this a lot. Like, why don't we make just like straight up like Starship, Falcon 9 shirts and stuff? Do you want to know why?
I would love to know why, because I don't know.
I know. To be honest, I've had this thing of like, I don't necessarily want to ride the coattails of what they're doing and be like, that is cool, therefore we're going to, step in on that and make it cool. That is already cool, therefore we want it to be cool too, right?
Uh-huh.
I like nerdy science things.
Yeah.
I want to brand that as cool.
Yeah.
Like full flow, that's not a sexy thing.
Amazed at that.
We tried to make it really cool, and Allie and the branding and like trying to make science and spaceflight cool. I think, in my opinion, and this is totally me. This is nothing against anybody else at all. But just for me, like I think that's important. I think that it's cool when a 7th grader thinks one of the coolest things in the world is hypergolic.
It's super cool.
Like who knows what hypergolic is in the average world? But to like start implanting that as like a cool branded, like awesome looking thing, I just get excited about that. And that, again, everyday astronaut, of course, half the point of this is to bring space down to Earth for everyday people, is to make people get excited about things. And I think in order to do that, there has to be a little bit of that element of like cool and fun and exciting.
Yeah, totally.
So SpaceX is already doing a lot of that, in my opinion.
True.
That's obviously what helped inspired me a lot. But I get excited about when we try to make starting a rocket engine cool, helping people understand how full flow works, helping people understand how you keep a rocket engine from melting. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
No, so that's sort of like my mantra.
I like it.
Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure, frankly, people would love if we just had an everyday astronaut, Starship, done. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'd rather like push on to other things, Yeah. That's my personal opinion.
You are entitled to it.
Oh, thank you. From Woodhenge, thank you so much for your super chat. And again, sorry that we are just trying to fly through these super chats. Thank you, Tim, for providing amazing coverage. It was nice to meet you at Space Creator Day. Hope you're coming next year. I hope
more.
to as well.
So cool.
Let's see here. This is from J.R. Moore. Was there in person for 420 test? Psyched for this one tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the coolest things ever. I really hope tomorrow we see it fly and it's awesome. And look at this view again. Oh my word. It just keeps the gift that just keeps on giving.
Getting foggier.
Yeah. Is that fog? Huh. Who knew? I don't know. We'll just keep flying here. Sorry. This is from Julian. What are the chances that the launch will be delayed? Thanks you all for your efforts and dedication. No, I mean, I can't give you any statistics at all. Like, there's no sense, there's no way of us knowing the chances of it being delayed. Personal intuition.
Feels like it's a go to me.
Feels like they're not working any issues on the rocket.
All signs are pointing towards, they just had to destack yesterday. Yep. I was really impressed with how quickly they could just replace a grid fin actuator.
3 motors they replaced.
Wow.
Like, if that was any other rocket company, of this scale, trying to do something like that big, destacking the world's largest rocket ever, changing out motors last minute, popping it all back together.
Yesterday. And it really does feel like they are ready.
I've heard nothing like as far as issues being worked on or anything like that. And so the only thing would be like if they get into the countdown and they go for engine ignition and something pops up then, like I think we'll for sure get to engine ignition tomorrow.
Cool.
Whether or not that turns into a launch, we'll see. But I don't see any signs, or at least we'll definitely get to T-minus 40, I think, which is
T-minus 42.
Yeah. No, T-minus 40 is their like internal hold point. They can stop at T-minus 40 and reevaluate and fix things. So
yeah, we
will see. All right, I got to keep flying here because we gotta power down, fix some things for the stream tonight, and get out of here. How many wheels of cheese can Starship carry to Leo? Oh my God! Well, 150 metric tons would be a lot of wheels of cheese. I have no idea. 150,000 kilograms. So let's see, a wheel of cheese is 1, so 150,000. I don't know if it's the volume for that 1,000 cubic meters. Somebody do the math.
Anybody? Can you do the math?
And by the way, that is a reference to the first orbital flight of Falcon 1 had a wheel of cheese in it.
Oh,
so
there you go. Nice question.
From Douglas, midday New Zealand here, sunset there in the U.S. Isn't that just, I love that. I love that. Gray, cameras in 4K look incredible. Good job, team. Thank you so much. We really appreciate hearing that feedback, and we are glad that you guys are enjoying it. Linda, thank you so much. Me, not you. Oh, God, the earth is flat. I'm outside in El Paso. The sun is still up. JK, that's funny. I mean, actually, that's what's crazy is we saw it go down here. So that would kind of prove it. If the sun was still up in El Paso, that would actually be good for us.
Whoa.
That's funny. From Andrew Ungs, thank you so much for becoming a member. Noah wants to know, assuming Starship survives reentry, big assumption, why do you think SpaceX is electing to not try the flip and burn? I have to imagine there's a lot of good data to gather from that, even with the hops. In my opinion, again, it's kind of back to, I answered it similarly. Why aren't they practicing landing? And even why aren't they practicing landing on this? It's sort of like that's a whole nother stack of software to try to really make sure they nail a lot of extra moving parts, a lot of things that they've already proven out. They've already gone from that same velocity because by the time it gets slow enough, it'll be following the exact same trajectory of what SN15 did. Why would they practice if it's just adding extra things? There's so much going on right now. Why would they waste the time to try and implement all of that when they're not even to the point of recovering? They're not to the point of it would be a lot of wasted work if it blows up. Yeah. Like during reentry or anything else.
This is that iterative approach that they're so good at.
Do what they can. Do the best they can do now. We do have the flight profile, by the way. It's approximately 250 kilometers. Is the maximum height is the apogee. Yep. 250 kilometers, which would be 150-ish. It's about 150 miles high.
Okay, cool.
Cool. That's great.
250 kilometers, you said.
Yeah. Cool. All right. This is from Soxler. Can't wait for launch, but want to know what major changes have been made since the last launch. Good question. We'll fly through this real quick so we can, again, try to get out of here. Oh, and I don't have my power. Can you actually go down into the room right there that has, there's a power brick plugged into the wall with a white power cable. Or do you have a power cable right here?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, you're all charged up. I'm just going to steal from you. Never mind.
Don't worry.
No panic.
As long as it's the same.
I didn't think we'd be streaming this long. Yeah. Okay, changes. Better fire suppression system in the aft engine bay.
Big deal.
If something goes wrong. The other big thing is there is no more hydraulic system controlling the steering, the TVC, the thrust vector control.
Right, it's electric, all the engines. Right?
It's electric. So no more having all of that RP1 or whatever hydraulic fluid that's flammable, that can blow up, that can go wrong. Fantastic. Every engine has its own system, which is really cool. There's also the hot staging ring. Big deal. So that's the ring on it where they're going to fire the engines while the booster is attached to the Starship. Awesome. Huge upgrade.
Cheese plate.
Water deluge on the ground. Yep, on the ground system. The booster bidet. So, I mean, realistically, those are the main ones. Many tweaks. Booster 9 was a lot more refined. You can just see the detail work of it's a lot cleaner, a lot more methodical. They're just, I feel like on 7, a lot of things was I don't know where to put this. And they just tack it on.
Totally.
This is already a little bit more refined and just more thought out.
Buttoned up. Did you say the flight termination system?
Flight termination system has been massively upgraded.
Yes.
Bigger boom.
Big deal.
If necessary. So that's great to know. those are the main things. I'm sure there's 100,000 other little tiny things, but we're in the sake of keep moving on. We're just gonna keep flying here. So, Tons 2020, thank you so much. Will Bezos try and recover the engines? Wants to know Ian H.
Whoa.
He did recover the F1 engines from Saturn V for Apollo 11, which is awesome. Like that's one of the coolest things.
Super cool.
Super big fan of that. No, he won't. But I still saying don't sleep on Blue Origin. Don't sleep on them.
Oh, of course not.
Rita, thank you so much. Much appreciated. BSG37, Battlestar reports as ordered. Why not depressurize the ship and then tow it back to the islands to study the effects of plasma in the heat shield and other components and flaps? Seems to be a waste to just sink her. I mean, again, we don't have any. As far as we know, they're going to sink it, and they'll use data to determine that. I mean, Elon in one of our walkthroughs mentioned the idea of using like internal cameras and sensors to be able to see the hot side to see if there's any burn throughs or anything like that using thermal imagery. They can probably gather most of the data they need from telemetry and from instruments. But I know it does seem like couldn't they learn a lot, but that's not for us to decide. Mike, thank you so much for becoming a member. Yes?
No, don't.
Another tangent is going to take us.
Me. You'll get to it.
Rich from Georgia, thank you so much for loving our production value. We greatly appreciate that. Tractor Man 104, this sounds like me. As the child of an Apollo years, this is the most thrilling time of my life. That is awesome to hear. And Tractor Man, I need to know that basically that's what I used to introduce myself as a child when I was like 4.
This is true. I've heard this so
You've heard it from my
many
parents
times.
even, I think.
If someone asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
No, first is what was your name?
Oh, really?
I'd say Tractor Dodd.
Tractor Dog.
And what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd say a tractor. Don't think that worked out for me too well.
Iowa.
And then I wanted to be a scorpion trainer. And I wanted to train scorpions to cut lawns.
That's a great idea.
Still a great idea. I should probably just get into that.
You could just get goats. But
Nope, scorpions
All
it is.
right, all
That'd be
right,
great down
that's
here in
cool.
Texas. So there you
It
go.
would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's true. Scorpions are the new goats.
I am glad though to hear that Tractor Man, a fellow tractor,
Fellow tractor man.
like is a what are those like a horse thing that's like a half like a centaur.
Yeah.
I picture that Tractor Man. That was
Yeah.
I was also that. That's why I introduced myself as Tractor Dad. William, thank you so much. Paracharacter riding a firework rocket disappearing away before bursting the sky. William, thank you so much for that very, very generous donation. You are keeping the lights on at this point, so thank you so much.
And William is also celebrating.
Oh, really?
How many months?
Oh, 42 months of membership. That's for you, 42.
I know.
That's
what I was
awesome.
excited
Love what you
about.
do. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much, William. 42 months. That's crazy. That's 3.5 years.
That's cool.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Andrew says we need a cook for everyone. next month.
I totally almost highlighted that, but I felt like it was very selfish to do that. But I agree.
I know. We might have to take applications for a team chef. That'd be awesome.
Wow, they're going to have some dietary preferences.
Yes,
to
they will. To negotiate,
navigate,
yeah.
but-
Exactly. That would be amazing, though. I mean, that
I
would be
would
pretty cool.
love that.
It'd be efficient for us. Patrick, what odds do you give to mission success? What is mission success? From my understanding of at least what SpaceX considers mission success would be doing better than last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really want to get to hot staging.
Yeah.
I think if it gets to hot staging, whether or not hot staging is successful or not, I think would actually be considered success for them. And to me too, I think I'm about there too.
Yeah.
If it gets through first stage burn clean, and stays on its planned trajectory, even if a couple engines go out, 3-4 engines, as long as it stays on its trajectory, I think that's a win.
Yeah, and hot staging is 2 minutes and 41 seconds in, right? So
2:41.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see.
yeah, it'll be quick.
It will be. Yeah, we'll find out pretty much right away. So, oh man, we're trying to fly through these again. Thank you so much for all your donations, like Jay Heath, much appreciated. I'm just gonna bang these out because we got hungry people and we got problems to fix for tonight's stream. From Obamium, hey, been watching you since biggest booms in spaceflight history. That is old, and been watching the whole Starship program with you, and it's been quite the ride. Thank you so much. That is awesome. I love to hear that. From Kurt, membership, thank you so much. We're almost, a catheter might be an option from Ryan. Hey, I mean, whatever it means to not miss it. Or a diaper, a MAG, maximum absorbency garment.
Did you just make that up?
No, that's the NASA term for space diapers, basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I might need to do that. This is from Thomas. Do you think that spaceship is with all to Mars? I think is with all to Mars. I think the question means like is Starship really like going to Mars? I think is kind of the heart of the question. Someday it has the potential to.
That's
now, whether
the whole
or not
purpose.
it's literally a variant that looks just like this, it might be nothing like this. It might be a multi-stage thing where they launch first a special Martian transfer vehicle and they park a Martian landing vehicle and they park and it's all gets into orbit from Starship because Starship could open up huge possibilities for insane amounts of mass on orbit. We will see. Yeah, that's the goal, though. That's SpaceX's goal. It's very ambitious. It's a little bit ridiculous.
I think it's definitely inevitable.
It is.
They have accomplished everything
on the
they
grand
set
scheme,
out.
like
Yeah.
whether or not it's 5 years, 10 years,
Oh, sure.
50, 100 years,
Yeah.
like duh.
Yeah.
Assuming there's not like a massive civilization collapse or something.
Oh,
Duh.
God. Let's not go
Space
there.
has always been an inspiration to me. 25 years young, and I've been looking up since my first telescope when I was like 6. I love the channel. I love the vibe. Fly high, Starship. You big, beautiful ... Amazing. Thank you so much, Kurt. This is from 8 months of Watership. I'm reading 8 months of membership. Can't wait for these water towers to take off or to take flight once again. Have fun, Tim and team. Fingers crossed for no fog. Amen.
Thank you. Fingers
Amen.
crossed.
And again from Thomas, thank you so much. This is from BIT. Appreciate all of your regular content and your special event coverage. Thank you for saying that because I think I do hear it a lot and I understand. People are always like, we missed you for this, that, and that. And like, when I first started doing this, like for Falcon 9 missions, covering live launches, there's maybe like 7 or 8 launches a year.
Yeah.
And I've kind of maintained that pace because I felt like that was healthy amount of genuine like excitement for things. I didn't want to just be like, I never meant to be like a space news reporter. You know what I mean? Like I never set it out to be like, Everyday Astronaut is breaking news. No, Everyday Astronaut is meant to just break the stuff down, make it fun, make it exciting, and spend the time that I think I spend the best time on producing high quality videos that do that better than I can with just a microphone.
Yeah, and they're just getting so awesome.
Oh, thank you. The videos I love. The team we have assembled now is amazing.
So cool.
But I think like I want to save the excitement for the big things now. And I still am doing about a stream a month, more or less, sometimes 2 a month for missions that I'm excited about. Or just like I miss streaming. I do like streaming.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it is actually a lot of work, even though it seems like a short amount of time. It is a lot of work. So we're trying to keep it to the relevant ones, the fun ones, the things that make me excited, while still giving us time to pursue the bigger productions that I'm more excited about.
Yeah,
most
there
of the time.
is a definite balance there.
There is definitely a balance there. From Harry saying, fan character. Oh, this is a fan character bouncing their heart-shaped ponytail with stars in their eyes. Thank you so much. I love reading that. From Colby, will they hire the ULA snipers to sink the booster?
Whoa.
Maybe that's an option. Mike, if all goes well, what do you expect to happen on the next flight? If all goes well, I think next flight they will aim for an actual proper orbit and a controlled reentry. I think that'd be a good next step.
Yep.
And maybe a landing burn with Starship potentially, and maybe they'll bring the booster even closer. I don't think if this all goes well, I can't quite see them landing booster yet. I think they'll want to get more data before they bring that thing back this way.
I think so. Yeah.
A few flights.
Yeah.
But I think next one we'll see just a slight evolution of this flight plan. If let's say they nail it, Starship reenters and belly flops, booster does a soft touchdown, I think it'll just be an evolution of that. Maybe they will go into orbit, maybe they will deorbit. Maybe they'll still do the same trajectory but practice lighting the engines in space, like doing an engine light.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And altering their trajectory ever so slightly to prove they can do that. Maybe it'll be something like that, and maybe it will be a landing burn next time. I kind of think that's what I think will happen. Active 3X, thank you so much for becoming a member. Jake Charles, I visited Starbase from Australia in August 2022, hoping to see a launch. Now that we are on IF2, I'm saving my money to buy flights at moment's notice so I can make it out there for IFT3. Enjoy launch. Thank you so much, Jake. It is hard. It's hard even here in the United States to be able to travel. I just had a speech at a junior high on Tuesday, and so traveling logistics around that is just a nightmare. It's really hard. And not until, right now, if you flew out to Florida to see a Falcon 9 launch, if you're there a week, you're going to see a Falcon 9 launch.
Yeah.
It flies that regularly.
It's so awesome.
These launches are much, much, much harder. And it's going to be a long time before it's at any kind of cadence like that. So, good luck. We wish you luck, but it might almost be worth staying around. Maybe wait until they're going to do a booster landing.
Yeah.
If you're going to aim for IFT3, maybe just wait until we get to the point of booster landing, because then it would be like another huge, awesome event. I don't know. That'd be my opinion. And by then it'll be more regular. You know what I mean?
True.
IFT3 will still be
It'd be
kind
a little
of like
easier to.
It'll be always like at the 2-week away thing for months and months, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. John, thank you so much for the super chat. Rita saying FTS is now the flotation termination system. I love that. Kitty Donahue, thank you so much for 41 months of membership. Fabian also becoming a member. Thank you so much. Harry saying, let's hope it flies this time. Yes. When is the launch? From Pep, look in the top left portion of your screen. We are at T-minus, what does that say, 12 hours and like 30 minutes.
Oh, my God.
That's actually scary. I shouldn't have looked at that. Ian H., I had so much to do this afternoon, evening, but you and Mary Liz are an awesome pair. Go SpaceX.
Hey.
Thank you. And last one, we're getting out of here. From Trajche Petrov, became a member. Thank you so much. And to everybody, all of you that are watching, thank you so much. One last reminder, again, if you are watching right now, don't forget to check out our new merch. everydayastronaut.com/shop. We have some awesome new stuff, including a brand new pointy end up, flaming end down shirt, a hypergolic water bottle, hydrazine mug. We do, of course, have our Falcon 9 model rockets that are just the best. Simply, when I say the best, I mean, like, actually, I don't think you can find a higher quality model of it.
They're the best.
Period.
They're the best ones.
I'm wearing the new hypergolic shirt, which is awesome. So shop around, everydayastronaut.com/shop. By the way, there's like a huge disclaimer on the back of this talking about hypergolics and the dangers of hypergolics.
Nice. And on the bottle, too.
And on the bottle,
I remember, yeah,
exactly. So it has like a lot of like warning labels.
Don't
and stuff.
drink it.
Yeah, which I think is hilarious.
Only consumable liquids should be placed inside
No,
this
you
bottle.
cannot put hypergolics in these. It literally says that. Handle with extreme caution. This container is strictly intended for non-hazardous human consumable liquids.
Right.
Under no circumstances should hypergolics or any hazardous substance be stored within everydayastronaut.com.
Nice work.
I love that kind of stuff. All right, that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words?
Godspeed.
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 We will have our stream going up, our official launch stream going up in 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh, only that many.
So we have some things to fix and tweak.
Yeah.
And we will have that going online for you guys already, just so we can have those feeds up throughout the night so you can enjoy it.
All right, I'll phone the chef.
I love it.
So we can do those things while they do those things.
That's what we need to do. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. That's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Goodbye, everybody.